break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't here to make.
Hello and welcome to the Opinion of the Uninformed podcast. It's episode 13. Unlucky for some, unlucky for some. I am Jay, and I'm joined as always by my co-host TJ. TJ.
Hello, evening everyone.
Hello. So we've got some announcements today. So stick around to the end for that. Big news.
Big news.
Big news. TJ, what you been up to, man? What you been up to?
Well, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since we last did this, because last weekend I did a meet up for my community, my Twitch community. You were there, weren't you, Jay? We went to Cambridge, and there was 10 of us, I believe it was, that all went down and met each other for the first time, and it was a lot of fun.
Lovely day.
It was. We had some really nice weather, some nice food, nice people. Just spent time getting to know each other, wandering around Cambridge. Worrying about a few people maybe getting pushed into the river and stuff, but no, it was all good fun.
Played some skeetball, which I believe you broke even on. Is that correct? You broke even, or did you win?
Shuffleboard, you mean?
Shuffleboard, yeah.
Shuffleboard, yeah. Table shuffleboard. I won one, lost one on the shuffleboard. Yeah, Ben won both games. And then what did we have? We had crazy golf as well, didn't we? Where I thought I was brilliant because they had the digital scoreboard up on, because you inputted your scores on your phone. And when my group finished, Jay's group was behind us. When my group finished, I ended up tying on the daily leaderboard for scores. I was like, look at me, this is great. I'm gonna get a photo on this. And then the very next group, your group, Tango, managed to beat my score by 2 and went top of the leaderboard. So I was like, oh, fuck you.
For those that are interested, I wasn't even near the leaderboard, not even close to it. I was terrible.
It was on the wrong course. He was doing the wrong 9.
I don't know what I was doing. But no, so I just didn't want to go into the damn hole. That's what happened to me.
It was a really good day, really good couple of days, and something that we're definitely going to plan to do again next year, and get people together again. Really, really enjoyable. And other than that, I went to see the Meg, which I know you've also seen.
Yes.
Well, I went to see a couple of films. I went to see the Meg and I went to see Blue Beetle. Now, just quickly with the Meg, I have read the books. I really, really enjoy the Megs. I'm waiting for the newest book to come out, hopefully, this year. And the films, as I've said to Jay and I've said to multiple people, the films, unfortunately, for me, don't follow the books because I think the books are very, very good, and the films don't follow it at all. And the second one, I have a love for sharks, especially like great whites and stuff, and I do love myself some megalodons, and I want big budget shark films, so I will never openly turn around and criticize a big budget shark film because I want more of them, but it wasn't great. It had its moments. The Meg.
Well, the first half was better than the second half.
The thing is, I just thought there were little bits. Like, I'll just say one little bit. Like, how easy did the Meg escape from that pen that it's been in for years? And it was just like, oh, look, this Meg, it's in a pen, this giant pen. We've managed to keep it, And then all of a sudden, just goes. Today I'm just going to ram through this thing and get out. No opposition to it. And it was just that. And it's just like, that's fucking terrible. But it is what it is. And as far as Blue Beetle goes, I went with my daughter to see that. And I went in with no expectations. In fact, I probably had a negative expectation going in because other than Guardians, most recent superhero films, in my opinion, the latest phase that we're in have been terrible. I think it's a very oversaturated market. But I was pleasantly surprised with Blue Beetle. The storyline was, that's weak. It's just regurgitated Hollywood crap because no one in Hollywood knows how to make anything original. It follows the same plot lines of pretty much every origin superhero film. But I really enjoyed the family dynamic of the Jamie Jaime, and his family, his uncle, played by George Lopez, like his nan, his mum, his dad, his sister. They were a really cool little family unit, and I really appreciated their whole what's the word I'm looking for?
Unit, maybe.
Yeah, like in Guardians, I felt like like the reason I love Guardians so much isn't necessarily because of the film; it's because of the group, because of the Guardians,
Yeah.
because of how they play off of each other. I think they're
Good
so well
dynamic.
cast. They're dynamic. That's the word I'm looking for. The dynamic of the characters together, and I felt the same thing with Blue Beetle. And it had its few little comical moments and that, and like I say, but largely the story's not great. But for me, just that family dynamic, just that group of five or six cast members, so well done, and it was so well put together that I come out of it enjoying it for that reason alone. Like critically, if you want to, like I say, storyline, meh, but just that it's a heartwarming. It had a lot of heartwarming moments in it. And my daughter really enjoyed it, so
No, maybe a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10.
I would say, like I say, if it didn't have that, if they hadn't have cast him as well, like the uncle played by George Lopez was phenomenal. He's a comedian, but he's like a conspiracy theorist nut job, but also a bit tech savvy. I labelled it this way: Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle to me is like a B Tech Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, like any superhero that's like got wealth and is a bit techy, like. It's like a bit B-Tech of that, like, and you'll understand why if you watch it. But yeah, like I say, if it didn't have that family dynamic, it'd probably be down there with like a 3. Like it would be real bad. But that for me,
still striking out then.
but yeah, but it's not. You know, it's a shame because what the first thing come up, it was like gun/saffron came up right on the top, and you're just like, but it's not. Because this was definitely this was post production when they joined, so you're kind of like, until we get the first
they
real
want to keep him in the universe they're creating. Is that correct?
Quite possible. I mean, the guy who played it, I think his name's like Zeno. I'm not sure. Sorry for butchering it. He's from Cobra Kai.
Cobra
Great
Kai,
series. Love him. In that, he's brilliant. But
Totally
I mean, he's I could see them making another film. He's not an offensive superhero by any means. No. If they brought out Blue Beetle 2, it would be okay. It would just, it'd be a middle of the road superhero film. It wouldn't be like anything to write home about, but it would be probably a filler film while you're waiting for your next like big budget Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the top tier level. Like when you get, I don't know, I'm trying to think in the Marvel category. Everyone seems to be fucking A-list in the Marvel category.
I suppose.
Ant-Man, but Ant-Man's part of the Avengers, so you kind of.
Yeah, but he's still sort of lesser.
Yeah, quite possible.
Going into TV. Otherwise, you're into TV realms.
Well, I actually think the TV stuff's probably a lot better at the moment. Like Daredevil. Well, actually, no. Sorry, the Marvel stuff TV is trash. The Netflix stuff was actually pretty decent.
Yes, it was. And then they canned it all.
And they canned it all.
It does look like Daredevil's coming back.
It is, so but it's under like it's Born Again, isn't it? It's Daredevil Born Again. So we'll see if Disney butcher it, because at the moment they have got a really terrible track record with everything they touch.
It's not been good. Phase 5 has been,
and not just Phase 5, mate. Disney in fucking general, they're like, how can we, with the House of Mouse, how can we destroy and burn this house down and waste $1 billion just like that? Oh, I know. Let's go super progressive and maybe put out stuff that people haven't asked, don't want, don't need, and just think we're putting the world to rights when really we're just pretentious pricks.
But how about boxes now? He's trying to tick all them boxes now, dude.
Yeah.
That's what the world's about.
Yeah. But how about you, Jay? What you been up to, dude?
So I did a couple of things. I watched Ahsoka, which was very good.
Oh yes.
Nerd. I won't ruin that for anyone if anyone's watching it, but I watched the first 2 episodes, which released on
That's
Wednesday.
coming out weekly though, isn't it? Wasn't it like the first 2 and then it's is it 2 episodes a week or just 1?
No, it'd just be 1. They tend to do the 2 to
a premiere. Yeah.
And then then it's just 1 a week. But I'll be looking forward to that. But I like not all the Star Wars stuff. That'd be a lie. But I'm a big Star Wars nerd, so I see the Star Wars logo, and they pretty much draw me in. I played a game that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I played and finished a game that I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the entertainment news. And I've been playing Armored Core 6, which TJ knows nothing about. But some
Well,
people may
I know
Armored
brief
Core.
little bits that obviously it's number 6. Right, let me just get before I make myself look like an idiot. It's number 6 in the franchise, or is it,
It
6
is,
for?
correct.
Okay, cool. Before I turn around and like say, well, it's the 6th one, and I've never heard of it, and you go, well, that's because like Armored Core 6 is because it's the first one, but it's got 6 in the title, and I'm like, that's why I've never heard of it. But yeah, no, I've never played any of them, but I know from what you've told me, it's about giant mechs, which is right up your alley.
Giant mechs. I love giant mechs. It's also made by From Software. Now, From Software, the Dark Souls, the Elden Ring. So, a prestige company. If they're also, they don't charge £70 for games. They charge 50 quid for games.
Is it?
So,
there's DLC coming out for it though, isn't there?
I don't think so.
There
may be expansions, but I don't think there'll be any DLC.
Hang on, is it? Hang on. Is this
thing
Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, okay, right. See, I saw the Fires of Rubicon, and I thought Fires of Rubicon was like an upcoming DLC for it or something. But that's it. Oh, okay, okay. Right, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Rubicon's the planet that you're on.
No, Rubicon's a beautiful drink, mate. It's very, very nice.
Well, in this case, it's very much a planet filled with lots of mechs destroying each other and horrible, 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 horrible bosses that you just can't kill because they've got so many fucking weapons. I'm not going to get into it. I may have died a couple of times to the first chapter boss today. I'm not going to get into it. So
that's what it's like, right? Easy mode. Where's easy mode?
There's no easy mode. That's the problem with From games. They go,
do you know what?
This is the difficulty. Get good or die.
I actually really appreciate games that do not give you an option for difficulty. Like it's just this is what it is. As you progressively get through the game's going to get harder. You need to learn the skill tree that we have in this game, and you're either going to succeed, or you're going to die. And I quite appreciate that. I don't want to be sat there before I start a game going, how do I actually feel like playing today? Can I be bothered to actually no, just throw me straight into the game, and if I can survive, I can survive. If I can't, I'm trash at this game.
I also like to think that because there's no change in difficulty, you get a sense of reward when you do get past that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like you get to a boss and you're like, oh, I just can't beat him. And some games do something that fucking really annoys me, which is you die a couple of times to the boss and goes, do you want to drop the difficulty level? And I go,
It's like, are you taunting me?
Yeah.
Are you taunting me?
What are you saying?
It's
Are
like
you calling me shit? Fucking Apex does the same thing. You have a horrible, horrible game where you drop and die, and then he goes, "Do you want to do a survey?" And I go, "If I do the survey now, I'm going to call your game a big bag of shit." Takes off the screen.
Oh.
But yes, the other game which I will touch on a little bit more when we talk about one of the big announcements this week, which of course was Gamescom, is a game called Fort Solis. Now, Fort Solis is very narrative, so I will talk a little bit more about it because I played it and finished. It's not long, but it is very much a story. It's a horror story, so it's in TJ and my sort of wheelhouse. But I'll touch a little bit more on that. A lot of alumni of voice actors in there.
Oh, we have another game we need to talk about as well, actually. But you carry on, and yeah.
Okay, so yes, watched Ahsoka. Really, really good start. Solid. I don't know if much people know about Ahsoka. Ahsoka is basically Anakin or Darth Vader. It's his apprentice, so he's Padawan. And now she sort of left the Jedi Order, and this is sort of set after Episode 6. So Darth Vader's dead, the Emperor's dead. It is the fall of the Empire, and this is sort of the remnants of what's coming back.
So he was training her during like Return and all that,
no,
and
Clone Wars.
Right. Okay.
The first 3 films is obviously you see Anakin as Nipper gets trained as a Padawan.
Yeah.
Second film's the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It turns out that everyone's going to get into this massive galactic war, and then the third episode is the end of the Clone Wars. So
and when you
Clone
get
Wars TV show,
Anakin turns into right. Okay.
Darth.
But what I'm saying is, so obviously,
him that.
Oh, she's left. You just said 6, so she leaves at the end of 6.
No.
Oh no, set after. Right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. It's set after 6. Oh, okay.
She, in the Clone Wars, basically, Ahsoka has had enough.
I haven't seen the Clone Wars, by the way.
But in the
obviously
Clone Wars TV show, Ahsoka basically comes to the point where she starts to see how Anakin is becoming, and she gets upset with the Jedi Order, which is very much what she's about.
Because he's on the turn, right? He's on the turn then.
He's on the turn, but she wants to become. So there's things called the Grey Jedi, and they're those that have left the Order. They're not interested in becoming Sith, which is the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
But these are like they're Force sensitive. They can still use they're still Jedi trained, but they no longer follow the Jedi path because again, it's very heavily not religious based, but it's sort of religion in itself. So,
so I'd be a
grey.
I mean, I'm pretty grey anyway, but I'd be a grey Jedi then. Yeah.
A lot of people would be. I mean, because it's basically what 7, 8, and 9 are about. How because the Jedi Order is so rigid in the way it wants people trained. It's why so many people fall to the dark side.
Yeah.
You know, when you're told you can't love someone, you can't change who you are, you've got to follow this good.
Yeah.
Not always good as well. You know,
yeah.
They still kill people. But yeah, so a lot. There's more story on it now. There's been a lot of comics about it and a lot of stuff. So I'm not going to get into it. Go and watch it, kids. Do go and watch it. Very good. It is very good. You don't have to watch all the Clone Wars stuff. They sort of give you a brief at the start. And Rebels, and there's loads. There's loads you'd have to catch up on. But if you go on Disney Plus, not a plug for the House of Mouse, but if you go on Disney Plus, they actually give you all the episodes that have got Ahsoka in, so you can funnel them all out without trying to find every single episode that you need to watch in order to catch up. Right. So that said, TJ, you was going to mention another game.
Oh, I was just going to say another game got released as well, which was TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
On the 19th, I believe it was. Not Friday, just gone the Friday before. Because we'd spoken about it before. Obviously, I got to take part in the playtest. And the reason I wanted to say it's like the game had a lot of issues to start with. Apparently, like I haven't come across any hackers, but apparently a lot of hackers in it. But it became really evident really quick that they're like Twitter. We've spoken about it before. Twitter is a cesspool, right? And
X.
It seems to have become no, we won't call it. We're never calling it X. It's Twitter. It's like actually one of the things that I would say is like perfectly named, perfectly marketed, like on all fronts, like sending tweets, Twitter, Bird. It's like great. X is just moronic in my opinion. And yeah,
I agree.
So, but yeah, there's a massive divide already. Like less than a week into the game, you go on there and it's a split divide of people who are totally like opposing, like TCM. People come in and people will come in and just say, oh, so, and if they try and compare the two games, which let's be honest, they're two games in the asymmetrical horror genre, the main character is in the other game, like Bubba Leatherface is in the other game as well.
Just clear this up. He's on about Dead by Daylight.
Sorry, Dead by Daylight. Yes, I mean like loyal viewers, loyal listeners will understand. I'm a Dead by Daylight player, but it just became like the animosity between the two people. If you went and compared the two, people would start trying to lynch you, or if you started saying like, "Oh, this game's never going to take on DBD," then the other people. It amazes me how people like they can't just sit down and enjoy something for what it is. I've played both. Well, obviously I played DBD. I played both. I plan to play both continually on stream. I really enjoy Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's fun. I think it's got some cool game dynamics. I think being able to play with your friends as a family member or a killer, if you will, is really quite fun and cool. Especially on comms, it gives it a completely different dynamic that DBD will never have. And like I've said before, the fact that like solo queue is kind of taken away from the survivor side because you can get out by yourself without the need of help of others, which is one of the big hang-ups with DBD. So it has its pluses, but it also has its minuses in like lack of content, which will be no one's really talking about this. People are just talking about like whether or not it can dethrone or can't dethrone, but no one's actually going into details. Like it will never dethrone DBD because DBD has seven years worth of content behind it. It's too big a game, but it's not trying to be a competitor. It's trying to be its own thing in the genre, and that's what people aren't getting their head around. But where TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, will survive or fail is in its content and how quickly it pushes content out. At the moment, there's like five family, five victims, and it's 3v4. So, and there's like 4 maps, but there's day and night variants of the maps, which at the moment is fine, but in 3 to 6 months, it's going to get stale very quickly. But I did actually see today someone had released someone had got their hands on information about another family member coming in called Black Nancy, aka Black Widow.
Okay.
And that's just a code name at the moment. I don't know if that's the name they're going to come out with, but it's another family member, and it looks like they may be out in the next couple of months, and potentially another map as well. And that's the thing: if they can bring out steady, like every 3 months, bring out a new person on each side and a new map, and so that within the year they've got a good 8 maps to play with. They've got like 7 or 8 of each family member victim. That's what they need. That's where Evil Dead failed, VHS failed. Similarly reasons, but also because they had a lot of other issues with bad marketing
So
and stuff.
Evil Dead go through the same?
Evil. This
thing?
is the thing. Evil Dead did, but I like Evil, like the content. They did release stuff, but it just never. And I also wonder the way the game had to play out. May well have cost it a little bit in terms of its fun and enjoyment and long-term playability. But I feel one thing I will say with TCM is I cannot open Twitter without seeing the devs posting about the game, something which, so they're constantly or answering questions, they're retweeting people, they're answering people's questions, like, and that is massive because you don't see a lot of developers doing it. They love their game, they're trying to push their game, and they are marketing their game in the right way, you know, which is pleasant to see, because from the other aspect where I play with DBD, they don't seem to listen to people very rarely. They just regurgitate crap in their tweets, and they don't really they put out surveys, but you get very little communication back from them. So
did you get more at the start of DBD?
I don't know, because I joined at like, what was it, coming in for year 5, like, what am I, 2-3 years I've been playing DBD. So it, and I'll be honest, Twitter, until I started streaming, I wasn't really an avid user of Twitter. I'm still not a ridiculously avid user of Twitter, but I do go on Twitter daily just to see what's what and what's going on now. So, but yeah, it's for me, DBD is more what behavior put out is more just, oh, we've got this upcoming event, or we've got this, or we've got this, or they'll just put out fluff pieces. Whereas like TCM, Gun Media are actually out there looking to create a discourse with their players, which is what you need to do for your like game, you know, to prosper. I feel make a really solid community. So it's looking good, but content will be key with that game.
Well, I mean, it always is with the asymmetrical games, isn't it? Especially being that you've got, you know, whether people like it or not, you have got this champion that is DBD. It's got so many like renowned killers, people that, you know, and they've got another one coming out. Not
Tuesday
prices, but
comes out on the 29th.
Yeah, Alien's coming too. No, Alien has been asked. The Xenomorph has been asked for and asked for and asked for, and now it's coming here. And me and TJ have both played it. Very good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
A lot of fun.
You know. Yeah. So, you know, will that affect it? Probably. Because the only problem I can see for TCM is they've got such a uphill battle, even though they're not trying to compete, but people are always just going to make similar comments.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what bugs me when people were having to go at people for making comparisons, because why wouldn't you make comparisons? That's what we do with everything in life. You compare everything to everything, don't you? Like, you know, you try and go through a day without comparing one thing to another thing. You'd be amazed at how many times you actually do it without even realizing you're doing it. But they've never, like, I really don't feel that they're I think they know where they stand, and they can have a very good market share in the asim horror genre, and if they release the content correctly, then they will have it, and they will be around for a long, long time.
I mean, there's another contender entering the fight soon as well. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, I watched a trailer for that the other day, and
killers, 7 survivors, or something stupid like that.
I just don't know if that's.
I never watched it. I
watched the film years ago, and I mean like years and years ago. I remember watching it, so I can't profess to like remembering much about it. But the film, the film is old B movie, like, you know. But the game, I just don't know. It just looks a bit odd, and it might be super fun. But once again with that, like I said to you TCM have done the right thing. They've got the original writer of the original movie on board to help create more content for them. I don't know where you go with Killer. Like, essentially, TCM, it's a down south hick family of like murderers, cannibals. You can create a lot of content with that. You can, like, the maps that you can create. Weird ass clowns from outer space, I suppose. Yeah, like, how many different types of clowns can we make from outer fucking space?
Well, I suppose if they go lean into the completely ridiculous.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
but what I mean is, like, you're kind of like, I don't know. I think that will be more Evil Dead than
I can see that. I can see that.
and
It definitely looks like it's going to be more, like I say, because I'm sure they've got like 4 killers or something ridiculous.
I'm not 100%. I just saw a little clip
and
and it was like they had like little ray guns and stuff that running around, and I was just like,
yeah.
no, I'm not really 100% sure here. Well, but we'll
No,
wait
I
and see.
agree.
We'll
It's
wait
on
and
the
see
trailer.
if if I get put on the like a tech test or something for it, I will. I
I'll
will.
definitely try it out.
Yeah.
I can see you definitely trying it out. Right, so I suppose that just fills out how are we doing?
Yeah.
So we're doing fine. We're playing video
As
games
always,
and watching shit.
We're
So,
steady
yeah,
eddies.
that's what we do. We are. So we'll move on to the entertainment news, kids. Now, I've got a fair bit of entertainment news, mainly because Gamescom happened this week. It happened on Tuesday night, which is a massive thing. So they had opening night live, hosted by Jeff Keighley. And before I get into the video games, 2 people, I don't know if you saw this, TJ, 2 people invaded the stage. And they wanted to talk about possibly the most anticipated game in the world. And it's not Starfield.
Right.
They were
Wait.
screaming.
Let me guess. I've got a list of games up here. Let me see. The most anticipated game. I saw someone going to speak to someone on a stage, but no, I don't think it was that. The most anticipated game. Let me have a look. Right. And you're saying it wasn't what?
It's not Starfield.
It's
although
not
is the
Starfield.
most.
So big games coming up would be.
It's not even been announced properly yet. But it's definitely.
Okay, so it's not Payday 3. That would
No.
seem weird
Well,
anyway.
that looks amazing.
That does, yeah. Yeah, I can't. Mortal Kombat. I don't fucking know.
We can talk about that as well, but no.
No, none of these games jump out at me as a game that people are like thirsting over so much that they would need to rush the
When I say
stage.
it, you're gonna know. You're gonna know so bad when I say it. Grand.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's not. That's not on my
Auto.
list. It's not on my list. It's not on my list. It's not on my
So
list.
2
That's why.
people invaded the stage, going, "We want to play with Grand Theft Auto 6."
Was it Trevor?
Right into Jeff Lee. No, right into Jeff Keighley's mic. Don't know who they were. Security came up and dragged them off stage.
Oh, really?
So that was it was a like they just ran up on the stage. Jeff Keighley made a big sort of apologies. You know,
So what
said,
they got? We want to play GTA 6. And he turned around and say, "Okay, yeah, 6 years, mate. 6 more years. Don't you worry, it's coming out soon."
And the rest. And the rest.
It's like we're on course to release the same time as Star Citizen.
Yes, exactly. So 20 years, 20 at least, and it'll finally go into beta.
When a quantum computer's coming out, because that's when it's coming out.
Don't believe Star Citizen's coming out, kids. It's not. It's a scam.
I don't believe GTA 6 is coming out at this point. Jesus.
No. But apparently, well, there's been leaked footage.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
If you saw it. Loads of leaked footage. So people are thirsting to see GTA 6, so much so that they'll storm a stage and be thrown out of Gamescom, which is crazy to me. Crazy. Did you think? So my thought.
How much is a ticket to Gamescom?
I don't know. It's got to be 100 odds in Germany.
Yeah, like I don't see, especially if you're not a resident and you've travelled there for it, which a lot of people do. What have you achieved?
Well, I don't see what did he think. I'm going to run up now.
He's going to say, "Take a seat and we'll have a chat."
Yeah, exactly. I'm not shouting to GTA 6 trailer. Did you think Jeff Keighley's going to go? You've caught me. We've been keeping one in the back for years now. And we're just waiting until you got up here and just screamed into my mic while I'm trying to do a show.
Do you know what? You can have a copy of the game. Here you go, mate. Like what?
I've got seven.
Do you want a job? Do you want a job as my publicist? Like, people are mental though, aren't they? Like, you don't like half the things these people do. You never understand.
So, yes. So just guys, look, it'll be announced when it's fucking announced. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'm not going to go up to the next E3 and scream that they've got to show me the GTA 6
The
trailer.
next E3, you'll be the only person in the place because like there won't be an E3, so Jay will just be standing in a massive warehouse like.
This is E3 week.
Oh dear.
So moving on, Prime Video or Amazon, as everyone knows them, they also announced something that me and TJ will be checking out, which is the Fallout television show. So this is going to be out in 2024, and it's set around Vault 33 in Los Angeles. So I don't know if anyone knows, but the original Fallout game was set in LA after the fall, after the bombs. So I don't know whether they'll be following that story. It was a good story. It was I won't ruin it for anyone, just in case it is that. But yes, so that's coming out. So you've got that to look forward to. I suspect that me and TJ will be covering it.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Video game TV.
Stick it on the list, dude.
It is on the list, sir. They finished filming it in early 2023, so it's not been affected by the SAG-AFTRA strikes, which are sadly still going on.
A lot of post-production on something like that, I would imagine. A lot of special effects, a lot of a lot of post-production.
There's a fair few famous people in it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'll have a look while you're talking about it.
Not names you'd recognise, but people that like are renowned TV shows, I suppose would be the correct answer for. So,
Walton Goggins is in it. I love Walton Goggins. He's fucking awesome. I'll always remember this guy. Sorry, I'm just going to interject just while I got this. So Walton Goggins is in like Justified. He was in Sons of Anarchy. Like he was phenomenal in Sons of Anarchy because he played a post-op transsexual, had a boob job, and like he had the biggest set of breasts you've ever seen, but the most manly chiseled jaw with 5 o'clock shadow. And there's another character played by Kim Coates. Tig, his name is in the game, and he's like obsessed with Walton Goggins. And it's such a great storyline. He's such a quality character. But yeah, so Walton Goggins is brilliant. He's brilliant in Justified as well. Really, that's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look forward to on that because obviously I'm interested to see how they're going to do that because as you all know that watch this, we always talk about video game adaptations into TV shows or films. So that'll be interesting for me because I'll be honest, I like Fallout, and to see a 1950s era set in the late 2000s and bombs have gone off, so it'd be interesting. I mean, it'd be Last of Us ish, maybe, I suppose. The story will get that deep though.
No,
it's very gun heavy and stuff. So.
Probably more maybe Twisted Metal, to be honest. Actually, possibly. Thinking about it, with like I say, the weapons and the maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Other sad news was that Charles Martinet who's the original voice of Mario, has finally stepped down after 27 years. Now he actually became, I was just checking this the other day, he became Mario's voice for Nintendo in 1990. He was on a beach and received a call from a friend who told him that there was going to be an audition at a trade show in which the auctioneers talk to people as a plumber. And that's how he essentially got the audition and became it. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. And of course he went with, which...
It's me, Mario!
Exactly so.
That's a question. So they literally have, in October, they have the new Mario game coming out, which looks freaking amazing. Mario becomes an elephant. It's wicked. It's got some
Mario Wonders. Is it Wonder?
Wonders, yeah, Wonder, yeah, because you get the special Wonder plants or Wonder seeds or whatever, and you turn yourself in. Like, I love the bit where you can elongate your body. There's like this, and when you eat the seeds, it also turns like the pipes into like caterpillars and stuff. So the green pipes start moving on. It just looked wicked. But is he doing?
I think he will be doing that voice.
Is he doing the voice in that? Who is Mario's new voice? This is the.
I don't think they've announced who's Mario.
No, I was just.
I think it's lovely. Charles.
No, 4 days. It needs. Yeah, it says Mario needs a new after he stepped down. So he must be the. If he's only just stepped down, and they haven't put.
I do hope it's not Chris Pratt. Nothing against Chris Pratt's Mario, but I do hope it's not Chris Pratt. Because
I think there will be a genuine backlash. People didn't massively like the fact that they didn't use Charles. Like they didn't follow the Transformer way and have Optimus Prime voiced by the original Optimus Prime voice actor.
whatever
Peter.
his name is.
Is it O'Toole? Is it?
No,
No,
it's not Peter O'Toole.
no. Peter O'Toole's the old horror dude, isn't it? It's Peter.
It is. Peter. Man looks up thing again.
Yeah. But yeah, like there was a lot of Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen, that's it.
So there was a lot of animosity towards, like, when you saw the trailer come out, a lot of people were like, wow, thank Chris Pratt. And obviously the film come out to a lot of fanfare, so that was quickly forgotten. But I think if that got brought back up and they're like, oh, look, Chris Pratt is going to voice Mario in the games going forward, I do think people would be like, no. I think this is going to be interesting. I think the world we live in now, if someone... do you remember we had this conversation about the woman who voiced Ada Wong in the Resident Evil 4 remake?
I do remember that being annoying.
And we were saying it's not her fault. People are attacking her. It's not her fault. She's just doing the job that she's paid. If Chris Pratt gets the role, it's not Chris Pratt's fault that he's got the role.
He auditioned, or
he auditioned. Yeah, he got asked to do it, and he's agreed a deal. It's just like me and you going and doing our job. He's doing his job. So if you have animosity towards that, you shouldn't be going and showing that towards the voice actor that played Ada Wong. Or if Chris Pratt gets Mario, you shouldn't be throwing that towards Chris Pratt. You should be throwing that towards Nintendo, whoever greenlit that and said, you're the fucking idiot that greenlit that. You're the person that gets the abuse. Although you shouldn't give anyone abuse anyway.
No,
but if you want to voice your opinion, it shouldn't be voiced towards Chris Pratt. It's not his fault. You know, the same as it wasn't the Ada Wong voiceover lady's fault.
She just went for an audition, got the job because someone went, I like your voice for Ada Wong.
Yeah.
So that's what they went. That's how that works. Moving on from that, which is a shame because, again, 27 years being Mario's voice is, I mean, to be fair, we're going to move into a different generation. Kids these days that are used to now Mario, the film Mario, they're probably not going to care that Charles is stepping down because it's not. No. It won't be their Mario.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, so maybe it will be Chris Pratt, kids. So, you know, send your anger to me in the comments. In other news, Frasier. Did anyone watch Frasier? Now I'm showing my age because Frasier's very, very old. I loved Frasier. I loved it. Very dry, very sarcastic comedy.
Oh, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
I'll do it again.
Boom.
You know,
boom.
he sang that. You know, it's Tim who sings.
Yeah.
Frasier.
Yeah.
So, yes, Kelsey Grammer is returning as the titular character Frasier.
I'm actually a lot happier when you told me that than when you first said about the reboot. I was like, oh, fuck's sake, not again. But, like, bringing him back, my genuine thought was this is going to be trash because they're like, it's going to lose everything. I hope that we get, like, Niles. I hope we get Roz back. I hope we get, I don't know. It's the... Niles isn't coming back. Oh, man.
I think Roz is coming back.
So we won't get Daphne. We're probably not going to get his dad. Is a guy who played his dad still alive? I'm not sure.
No, he's died.
Okay. And obviously, well, I mean, the dog, you get a dog that looks like Eddie to come back as Eddie, don't you? That's like, unfortunately, that is something can happen. You can't exactly replace, like, a guy that, you know.
It is going to have a star from Only Fools and Horses, though.
Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Well, like, it's the only one it was going to be, let's be honest. Like,
I do believe it's going to focus a little bit more on Freddie. Freddie was Frasier's son.
Yeah.
Now he's at college, university, what do they call it in America?
Yeah.
And it's going to be set in Boston and not Seattle. So there is a few changes.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense why you can palm off a lot of people not being in it because he's moved.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The easiest way to do it. That launches in October of this year on Paramount Plus.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
I can't say I'm going to religiously watch it, but like,
no,
I might catch up on it.
Fraser for me was in like a rotation of things where Channel 4 used to pick up some like wicked American stuff. So like King of Queens, Everyone Loves Raymond, Frasier. They're like some really quality stuff. Like. And they were all like the same kind of era, like all around at the same time, and they were pucker and like I say, didn't watch them every week. Weren't like get the TV guide right. I'm going to set the VCR to record that. No. That's how old I am. Used to have VCR that record. Fucking hell. But But yeah, like when it's on, it's like, oh, I can waste 25 minutes watching this, no problem. And normally it was a double bill as well, which was kind of cool as well.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of TGI Friday, and it used to be on either before TGI Friday
Yeah,
or after
yeah.
TGI Friday. So I can't remember. I think it was before, because TGI Friday had 2 releases, didn't it? It had the sort of
Post
censored
Watershed.
version,
Yeah,
and
pre and post Watershed. Yeah.
that's it. So I used to quite like TGI Friday with the ginge that is Chris Evans.
Christopher
Not-
Evans.
Yeah, not the
Not Captain America. No.
No, not Captain America. So yeah, I mean that's all basically the news that I could find out. Now to talk about Gamescom. So a couple of games. Well, on opening night live, there was a lot of trailers, lots and lots and lots of trailers, including somebody came on and played the smallest grand piano in the world to do the opening theme for Starfield, which I'm obviously very, very happy about. And there was a live action Starfield trailer after that, which who cares, if I'm honest. You know, it's a video game. I understand that you do live action. I never understood the live action trailers. So I was like, but all right, so you're going to show a young girl watching a guy go up in a clearly CGI ship and then go and do some CGI things and then come back. Okay. Are you telling me you couldn't have just showed me 5 minutes of gameplay?
Actual gameplay
Wouldn't that be
footage.
more engrossing for me?
Yeah. And make more sense logically. Yeah.
But no, that's what they did. So I'm not going to go against it. So just to go through some of the games. There's a game called Post Trauma, which I showed you earlier, TJ. That's coming out in summer 2024. That's a horror game where you play as a large man.
Mate, the first thing I noticed, I said to you, wasn't it? I loved it. It's like, I feel represented in my games. It's a large, portly, greying man with a beard. Yes.
Exactly.
It's
I don't know so much
me
about
in
the
video game
spider
form.
lady that came out of a butthole, but
No.
there you go.
No.
Can't have everything. Can't
No.
have everything. But that looks very good. Little Nightmares 3 is now co-op.
Very
It's been
much.
made by another
That-
person as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Supermassive Games, who I have a massive affinity for. But just the fact it's co-op as well, I'm like tapping people up already. I'm like, oh, you played Little Nightmares? You like Little Nightmares? You want to play with Little Nightmares with me?
Does look very good.
Yeah, I really enjoy Little Nightmares. I played the first one. I played the DLC, Secret of the Maw. I still I have to play the second one, but I will get that done before the third one comes out. They're very cool. I like those kind of games. I like Inside as well was another one. It's a fantastic game. The
Inside
weirdest
and Limbo were
ending.
fucking fantastic,
I
yeah.
never finished. I've gone through Limbo bits and pieces. Another one's called Planet of Lana, which is really cool side-scrolling game like that. But Inside, especially, probably I put at the top of my list. If anyone ever gets a chance to play it, it's normally free on Epic Store around Christmas time and that. But it's cheap as chips. Play it, it's brilliant. It's got the weirdest, most unconventional ending to a game I've ever played. I literally finished the game thinking, what the fuck has just happened in the last 5 minutes of this gameplay? It was like, I played it on stream and everyone else was like, what is going on? But it made no sense, but the game was just brilliant. Absolutely
I
brilliant.
tell you what's fun to do, kids, though, if you do play and finish, and I suggest you do this before you go and do what I'm going to suggest next, is go off and go on YouTube and find the people who are trying to make sense of the nonsense that is that game. There's some really interesting theories.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have you finished it, have you? You know what I'm talking about at the end?
Yeah,
It was like,
I loved it.
the fuck is this thing? What am I doing? Like, it's like, but it's so much fun.
Yeah. So I finished Limbo, and then I was chomping at the bit for Inside because it's made by the same.
Yeah,
devs.
Limbo's can be quite annoying, and I understand why people get frustrated because it is literally a death simulator. It's like, okay, I'm gonna die 5 times until I figure out how to actually do this next. Because it's
Figure
like,
the puzzle,
yeah, die to this puzzle. Okay, cool. How does this mechanic work? Okay, die again. Okay, this. Okay, right. I'll figure out how to do it. Next thing, I'm dead again. Right. Okay, go back. Yeah. It was just like a massive death simulator.
But savage to see that little kid just drop down dead as well. You're like, fucking hell, that's rough. The spider one particularly. Christ almighty.
But I love those kind of side-scrolling like puzzle games like that. 3D side-scrolling puzzle games, really, really good fun.
Well, if you do like Little Nightmares, there's also 6 episodes of a new podcast coming out called The Sounds of Nightmares.
Oh,
which
cool.
They've recently just released, so you can go and find that out on all your podcasting places. Don't give it up. Don't give up. Our
I was going to say, after you've listened to us.
Exactly,
Okay, after you've listened to us.
Right, now this is another trailer that TJ, I don't know if you checked out. It's not really your bag, baby.
Oh, can I just quickly just say, I'm going to announce what's name, but they have awards at Gamescom, right? They had for like best trailer announcement, blah blah blah. Little Nightmares 3. I'm just gonna, as you announce certain games, if they've won something, I'm going to say best trailer / announcement was Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah, it did look fantastic. I will say so. Do go out and check the trailers out, kids. They are very, very good. Especially post trauma, looks horrifying. Don't lie. And Little Nightmares look fantastic. Excuse me. Another trailer that you might all want to come out. It's coming out this year on December 22nd. Is of course the new Zack Snyder movie. Now Zack Snyder came out on stage.
Oh yes, I know the
Rebel
one you're
Moon.
talking, Rebel Moon. Yes.
Because he took it to Disney and said, "I want to make a Star Wars film," and they went, "It's too violent. There's no existing characters. Back off." So he went, "Right, Netflix." And Netflix went, "Have all the money, Zack. Have it all." So there's 2 films coming out. 2 films. And they haven't set them too far apart because the other one's coming out. Part 1's out in
December,
as I said, and it's The Child Who Lit Fire, I think it's called. And then you've got part 2 in April of next year, and it's The Scargiver, I believe they called it.
I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to it. But
Zack is my only worry.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, cinematically, this thing is going to be phenomenal. Because 100%. If Zack Snyder can do one thing right, is beautiful, atmospheric, like the worlds that he creates within his stories in terms of visually are phenomenal. But it's whether the story has substance. That is like, did he write it? Is he?
He did write it, and he directed it.
So this is looks stunning, but may have lack of substance.
Yes.
Wait and see.
Yes. You've got Charlie Hunnam in it, main character.
Like Charlie Hunnam,
Sophia
Butella. Yeah, she plays Gazelle in the Kingsman film. The lady with the like fucking knife legs, and she's also in the
terrible remake of The Mummy.
Yes, she played the titular character, the Mummy, and she was also in like she's a dancer by trade. She's in one of the Step Up films and that as well.
Yes.
And there was something else. I think I think it was like a poster. Might have been Fahrenheit 451, which was the Michael B. Jordan film. I might be getting that wrong.
Fahrenheit 451 is correct.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she plays like that's I'll tell you, if anyone's looking for a film that's probably gone under the radar, it's got Michael Shannon and Michael B. Jordan, and I believe Michael B. Jordan even directed it. Really good film. It's set in a like a very much a equilibrium type future, but this type like books. They burn books. They're firemen, right? He's a fireman. Michael Shannon's but their job is pretty much to go and burn books because books are fucking evil and and it's a really, really good film. He's, like I say, it's very much along them lines with Equilibrium, where Christian Bale kind of sees the other side.
Love that film.
And it's got some of the greatest fight scenes ever in it. When and he realizes he's on the wrong side, and he realizes he needs to wake up, and that's very much along the same lines as Fahrenheit 451. Good film.
She's also in Hotel Artemis. And
yes.
Blonde.
Yes.
And Star Trek Beyond.
Oh yes, she plays the cheatery look, white with the stripes and everything. Yeah.
That's correct.
I don't know the character name, but I know she's in it.
Jayla. Jayla is the character name in Star Wars. But yeah, so do check that out. There's also a game coming set after the film. So of course, that's what we always like, Gamescom. And he's a big gamer. He came out this week, Zack Snyder did, saying that he loves Fortnite. So just take yourself, Zack, put yourself in the bin, and then away you go. So my feelings on that.
Fortnite, what, the biggest battle royale game out there,
Put yourself in the bin. Other stars in that is Carey Lewis, and Anthony Hopkins does a voice in that.
Oh, interesting.
So there's lots of big stars in there, lots of big stars. Should be a good film. Fingers crossed. It's a good film, and he doesn't know.
Like I say, visually it'll be stunning, but the substance, we'll wait and see.
Yes, well, we'll have to roll the dice somewhat on that. So, as I said, part 2 coming out in 2024. So at least we don't have to wait a whole year to.
That's nice. That's nice. I like
I'm
that.
happy about
I
that.
like that.
Happy about that. The other game that I saw that looked absolutely fantastic, and the guy absolutely loves to kick absolutely everything, looks like a cross between probably Assassin's Creed and Dragon's Dogma, is Crimson Desert, made by a Korean company. That's coming out, no one knows when, but it looks fantastic. Do check out the trailer for that. Can't really give you more about it because it looks bananas. It looks like it's set in medieval times with dragons and all sorts of things. And then you're scaling up buildings. Then you're jumping through portal. Honestly, the trailer was bananas. Absolutely. It looks fantastic, but bananas at the same time. So Crimson Desert, go check that out. Payday 3, Ice-T came out and now talked about his heist mission, because he's got a heist mission in Payday 3.
Cool.
That comes out on September 21st.
Looks stunning. It looks awesome.
Fantastic.
I've only just for the first time played
games.
2. I've recently played for the first time Payday 2. A lot of fun. So yeah,
A lot of fun with friends.
Comes out in September, doesn't it? And I believe it's Game Pass Day 1 exclusive as well.
I think it is Game Pass. So do check out your Game Passes, kids. Honestly, there is so much free shit on Game Pass at the moment. It's crazy.
Mate, well, TCM, Payday, Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield's coming out. I'm trying to think what else is on there. That Lies of P, that's coming.
Oh, Lives of Pi, Lives of Pi, Lives of P, whatever it is. Yeah, that's coming out as well.
I think they're trying to strike a deal with Ubisoft as well. So potentially that Star Wars game out.
Oh, nice. That actually looks interesting. I quite like that.
It does look good. Talking about Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Mirage looks pretty good.
Cool.
Cool. I'll tell you why, because they look to be going back to their roots, where like it's not a fucking massive sprawling desert that you'll never ever finish. It's actually set in Baghdad, and that comes out in October. October of this year is absolutely stacked with games, kids. Absolutely stacked.
Mate, I think August through to like October is mental. Like it's just peppered with stuff. Every month is peppered.
That's it. Absolutely. Honestly, some of the stuff in there is just. I don't know. Like, I mean, I play a lot of games. I don't stream really anymore. Although I'll be coming back because Starfield.
The return. Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Anyway, less of my terrible singing. So the next game that was announced was Tekken 8. Now I don't know if you're much of a Tekken head.
No. It did win best Sony PlayStation game. Just quickly.
Did it?
Yeah. The list was Armored Core, Anotria, the last song, Mortal Kombat, Sandland, and Tekken won the award for best Sony PlayStation game.
Right. I mean, I can see how it's got a big following. It's got a huge following. They announced a new mode, which is Arcade Quest. So basically, you create your little anime guy, and then you beat people up on what looks like a coin-op machine, a little arcade machine, and then you can unlock new outfits for your characters in the game. So not really a new mode, just a reason to put a trailer out there. Trailer looked all right, I guess. I mean, again, it's a fighting game. If you're into it, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I like fighting games. I wouldn't say I dedicate my life to them. I played Street Fighter 6 a couple of weeks ago, got my ass handed to me, and went, probably too old and too slow.
The reactions aren't what they used to be, Jay.
No, they are not. They are not. And they were never good. So now they're just shit. Then moving on to another popular game, I suspect, Modern Warfare 3.
Ugh. So, mate, I got a massive issue with fucking COD, right? I was talking about it on stream. I don't know if you were there on stream on Friday when Damo came in, right? And I went on a rant. Damo came in at just the right time, because literally when I start stream, I have like half an hour. I just chat, and I'm literally chatting, and I'll scroll through Twitter, and I'll have a look if anything's popping up, and I'll just have a back and forth before we play any games. I'll have a back and forth with people who are in chat.
Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much is. Yeah, pretty much is. And so we'll have a back and forth. If anything pops up, then we can discuss it. And literally, I loaded up Twitter while I was chatting, and they are releasing. There is a new bundle coming out. They're doing a collab with quite possibly the most confusing and weird and nonsensical collab in Call of Duty history. They're collabing with Nicki Minaj.
Yep.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? It literally, the trailer starts with Nicki Minaj walking up someone in this like pink catsuit thing and kicking someone in the head. And I was like, the fuck is this? And it was like, yeah, she's getting a bundle. And I'm like, fuck off. And then, not only that, it's like 17 quid to play as fucking Nicki Minaj and get a pink Hummer. I was like, shut up, are people going to pay that? And it was like, no, there'll be a lot of people that will buy it. And I was like, no way.
Yeah, man.
Well, like, this game has gone to the dogs, man. It's ridiculous. Fucking Nicki Minaj. I couldn't think of anything fucking worse. Mate, you're going to see her ass 10 minutes before you fucking see her on the map. It's gonna be like, you'll be sailing down on... And I'm not being derogatory. Like, I am joking here. This is satirical, this is. It's like, you'll be coming down on your fucking parachute, like, the fuck is that? Over there. Couple of fucking mountains over there. I just fucking, you know... Are you going to see her from fucking miles away?
I saw a picture posted, I think it was on Twitter today, of someone going, killed my first Nicki Minaj, and just a dead...
It's like, man, it was like, are you having a laugh? I don't even... Like, who in their right mind has gone, right, we need a collab for this season. The season's not going well, people. We need a collab.
It's overwhelmingly
Nicki Minaj.
Negative.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean, do you know what would make more sense?
The argument B is that maybe she plays it. Maybe.
Even then, like, I understand. I understand jumping on, and I understand why they had Nick Merckx, and they did Nick Merckx, they did Tinder Tap Man, they did Dr. X-Ray, and I massively understand them. Obviously, their bundles, I believe, have all been taken away because of controversies. Okay, I understand that. Those I see as like right on the money. Perfect. You know, understand that completely. And there are other characters like I understand Nicolas Cage coming into DBD. It was a little bit far fetched, but for what the game is and everything, it makes sense. But Nicki Minaj makes no sense to me. No sense.
Because I don't know why you'd go with it. It doesn't even.
She's
seem
in
like
a bright fucking pink. You're in fucking like a sandy desert. The idea is fucking covertness, like trying to hide, and you're in a fucking pink, shiny fucking catsuit.
Yep.
And you're driving a pink fucking Hummer. Who's not going to spot you?
It's just so that you can kill them, dude. I've said what most people are hoping for is them big pair of tits on her, and then when she's firing the gun, it's a brrrr.
They want the jizzle, the jizzle thing. I mean the jiggle fizz. Fucking hell, Jesus.
So, Modern Warfare 3, they showed probably the first half of a mission. It looked very impressive, as it always does. I mean, graphically...
it looks great, but once again, it's like a Zack Snyder movie. So much lack of substance.
Yeah, they're having all the old maps from Modern Warfare 2, so they're not even bothering making new maps. They're just going to go...
but that's... I loved... Modern Warfare 2 was my COD gem.
Yes.
So
everyone's COD
I'm not opposed to having all those maps again.
Zombies is coming back, and it's going to be open world, fully open world zombies, which is interesting to me.
That's interesting.
They're also doing a new thing called open combat missions, so you can play a mission as you like. So if you want to be completely stealth, you want to go in, basically like making it a bit more like Warzone.
Yeah,
that main campaign.
That makes sense.
They're still going to have the cinematic missions as well, but some missions will be these open combat missions, and you can complete them however you like. They're having a big beta as well, or open beta, just a test.
I may well just see if I can get might have
a look at it.
Yeah, I normally put down for that. I got one actually today. Well, no, I must have got it earlier in the week, but never fucking realised. I got on what's the new racing game? I see you've played it, so you must have been getting on the test.
I have played it, yeah.
Shit, it looks like Mario Kart.
It is basically it's literally Mario.
But
Kart.
It looks like about fucking 100 people on the racetrack or something.
50 races.
I can't think what's it called.
Royale, isn't it? Beats the Royale or something. Something Royale.
But I was literally scanning through my Steam library, and it was like down at the bottom, at the bottom it's like unattached or whatever. It was like, what's this down the bottom? I was like, what's this fucking game? I never bought this game. It's like installed. I was like, I never bought this game. What is this thing here? I was like, oh shit, yeah, I applied to be part of the beta test. So I'm gonna play it tomorrow.
Honestly, it's a lot of fun. If you can play Mario Kart, you can play that. I got a first. I only got one first. I won't lie to you. But you know how to play Mario Kart, which is basically as you drift around a corner, you'll build a boost, and then you can boost forward. So that's how you That's how you win, basically, on that game. That looks very fun. Just to finish up on Modern Warfare 3, that comes out on November 10th this year. So if you're into Modern Warfare, then check it out, I guess.
Stampede Racing Royale. Sorry, just to...
Yes, that's it, Stampede Racing Royale. I mean, I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. If it's free-to-play, definitely. If it's maybe a tenner, probably. Looks like it'd be fun to play with mates, especially in a 50-car race. The racetracks, I mean, again, it all looks like it's completely pulled from Mario Kart.
Yeah.
The next game was Nightingale, which apparently people have been asking for quite a while.
Oh, it looks good. It's in my wish list. It looks good.
I thought you'd like it because it's got survival and action elements.
Yeah, it's very...
And you can Mary Poppins your way down with a umbrella.
Yes. It's very steampunky, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Yes.
You go to, like, the land of the Fae or something like that.
There's that, like... There's a lot of those open world kind of games coming out.
Yeah.
It's very, very much in my wheelhouse.
Next game was Lords of the Fallen. Again, very much a Dark Souls clone, or probably more an Elden Ring clone. I haven't got much to say on it because if you've played Elden Ring, then you'll know what you're getting in for. So that's all I'll have to say about that. Big open world, big giant bosses that look like they're going to rip you apart, and they will. That comes out on the 13th of October, as again, another game for October. You much of a Sonic player, TJ?
Not for about 20 years, mate.
Well, they're bringing back Sonic Superstars, which looks
yes,
like the
I did hear that.
That's
yes.
4-player, October again, of course. And Sonic Frontiers got a new DLC called The Final Horizon, so that's coming out as well. I mean, Sonic Superstars looks like it would be fun, but again, if you're asking me to pay 50 quid for a Sonic game, I'm probably going to bail out.
Yeah, there's not enough substance in it for me. No, I'm very much I apart from the open world stuff, I'm very much like a story driven game, and I just find Sonic and
it's a bit. Under the Waves, which I know TJ's interested in.
There you go, story based game. Very much looking forward to that. Quantic Dreams are involved, which is another winner. Very much looking forward to that. That comes out at the end of this month, doesn't it? 29th.
It does. 29th that comes out. It looks like it's going to be sort of like story set in an alternative world.
It's a guy and his AI, wasn't it? It's a guy and his AI.
And then he talks. I think it sounds like he's talking to his wife. He's like under the water and stuff, and then you get like quite a lot of submarine sort of controlling and driving around. So that looks like it should be fun. Now, the game that I played this week actually got sort of a big shout out. Fort Solis. Now, Fort Solis has got quite some alumni of people. So Troy Baker from Last of Us, he does one of the voices in there, and Roger Clark, who is Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, also does one of the voices in there. It was a fun game. Took me about 8 hours to complete. It's very story. There's not really much game in there, but it's a horror story.
Is it like a Supermassive type game, like The Quarry and that? Is it a decision based game? Is it?
Not really. It's more narrative.
Right.
So you're not going to choose anything. You go through and you find information.
So it's quite linear then in its construct.
Very linear.
Yeah. Okay.
Very linear. It's like a horror. There is a horror story there. You go in, the base is abandoned. You find some blood splatterings everywhere, and you're basically tasked to investigate what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
I won't ruin it for anyone because there is a story, and I'm not ruining it for anybody. But I enjoyed it.
What price point is that for an 8-hour game?
At 15 quid.
And
I picked it up with 10% off, 15 quid.
Would you say there's replayability in it as well?
I wouldn't say there's replayability. I think when you know the story, you know the story.
Fair enough.
The only reason you'd go back would be to get collectibles.
Yeah, okay. If you're an achievement hunter, then yeah.
Yeah, achievement hunter, then there's definitely stuff to do there. Cyberpunk. Now we all remember the Cyberpunk launch.
Yeah, they got a new DLC. Is that?
They have got a new DLC, but more importantly, that they're doing a 2.0 update.
Ooh.
Now the 2.0 update comes for everybody. It's not just for the DLC.
So,
Karen?
I had Tex come in talking to me about this. I'm interested in what you're going to say. Tex came into my chat, into my stream, and was talking to me about this. But yeah, so go ahead. I want to like what he said to what you say.
So there's new ways to play. They're revamping all the AI. They're revamping the police. There's going to be new weapons, new cyberware. They're changing how the perks work. They're giving you a new skill tree called the Relic skill tree. There's new vehicles, and there's vehicle combat now. So you can put weapons on you. You can shoot out the windows. You can put weapons on your car.
Fucking Twisted Metal.
Yeah, so it's a bit twisted metal, definitely. The police have been completely altered, so now you can expect an actual police chase and to be under threat from the police, unlike the original, which is like they just spawn and the police are there, and then you run around a corner and the police go, "Where's he gone?
Ah, okay.
He's killed 15 people. Got away. Oh well, see you later." So that looks like that would be quite fun. I am looking forward to
When
that.
and when is that update coming out with the DLC, or is it a separate thing?
It's coming out just before the DLC, just so everyone can get it. Hold on, two
Okay,
seconds.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, the guy Tex who came in and was chatting to me was talking, I think, more about the DLC. He was talking a lot about like changes they're making to make the game like, oh, was it DSLL or whatever it was, like load of bits. Like, it went completely fucking over my head what he was talking about. Like, it was very tech savvy.
I think it's the Nvidia thing, isn't it?
Yes.
DSLL or DSSL.
Yeah, whatever he says.
Yeah, it's basically that if your computer can't fully do what it needs to do, it will AI.
Yes, that's what he was. Yeah, that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. It was a lot to do with the AI and how the AI helps.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the DSLL, I think. No, you know what?
It's one of those. It's 4 letters that have got DS and L in them, and maybe another one of them.
That's it. Mastermind.
Yeah. Big brains over here, people. Big brains.
That's it. The only sad thing about that is because AMD are mainly sponsoring Starfield isn't going to get any of that support. Which
Who's got an AMD?
I got a 3090. Okay.
Yeah. Look at I've got a 3090. I got an AMD, and it's configured for my computer, not yours. Suck it.
Then Mortal Kombat 1. Now, the interesting thing about Mortal Kombat 1 is they have announced some of the DLC characters. Now, we don't like DLC over here, but Peacemaker's going to be in it.
They have a mental collection. Like, when you actually go through, and if you just go on YouTube and just write Mortal Kombat fatalities, and they go through, and you're like just watching it, and you get your Liu Kangs, it's on your blades, and you're like, and then you're like RoboCop, you're like, what? Who? Yeah. Rambo, Terminator, you're like, what? Who? What? When?
Xenomorph.
What? Yeah, Xenomorph. You're like, okay, Xenomorph fucks everyone up. What the fuck? Like, it's mental. They go all out. They're very much like Fortnite in the fact that they put a lot of emphasis on their like their DLC and outside characters that they bring in.
So I mean, to be fair, it's good choices, I suppose. I mean, I haven't watched. Have you watched Peacemaker?
Oh, that's the John Cena. Half of the series. I watched half of the series. So it's funny. It's funny. John Cena's yeah, he's pretty decent. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with TV stuff because I get waylaid and I can. But funnily enough, right? So I said Tekken won the best PlayStation game award. Mortal Kombat won the best Microsoft game. So
everyone's into beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yes, Omni-Man, Peacemaker, and Homelander will be making an appearance in Mortal Kombat 1. It does look quite brutal. It looks like they're having that sort of, you've got a tag partner now.
Oh, right, okay.
Like somebody comes in and they assist you in a couple of fights.
Cool. Tag team fatalities. Nice.
I mean, it's called Mortal Kombat 1, and the last one was called Mortal Kombat 11?
11.
So, are they rebooting it, do you think?
I don't know. It
Very
would be
rarely we're a video game called Mortal Kombat 1. I mean, we call it Resident Evil 1, but you mean Resident Evil.
Yeah, the reason why, because that's actually a really interesting thing, isn't it? Like, we do that, don't we? We do, like Resident Evil. Let's just use that as the example, because if we just say Resident Evil, you guarantee someone in the group is going to say which one.
Yeah,
you meaning which one are you referring to? Of course, we're talking about the first one because we called it the name that is associated.
I didn't say Resident Evil 2. I didn't say Resident Evil 3.
I said Resident Evil, but we feel that need to be like. It's like when you say like Fast and Furious and that now. You have to clarify like the first one.
I think like any time that you go past, I would say 3. I mean 2 maybe, but like as soon as it's had a sequel of some description, then you have to clarify with 1.
Yeah, but it doesn't. So you shouldn't have to logically, but we do.
But now that fucks up the whole dynamic because you can't.
So when you say Mortal Kombat 1, but not 1, 1. Not
Yeah.
1, 1. 1, but not 1, but
original,
1, 1.
original one.
It's like,
You know, the first one. What do you mean one? No, I mean
it's like when PlayStation had the PlayStation and then they brought out a PS1. It's like, well, I've got the PlayStation and the PlayStation 1 or the PS1 and it's PlayStation and it's the same thing, but it's like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Stop messing with us, right? Just leave the numbers off. Diablo 4 announced that they're doing their second season, the Season of the Blood. Very vampire-y storyline. Finally going to make some quality of life changes, such as adding the gem bag. Now, that doesn't sound like much to anyone who hasn't played it, but essentially,
no idea.
In Diablo 3, when you got gems, which you slotted into your weapon to make your weapon more powerful, they went into a gem bag and didn't take up the valuable amount of space you have to collect loot. So that is a big change. I haven't really got anything else to say about it, because Diablo has sort of fallen off a cliff.
You were kind of expecting that, though, right?
Yeah.
When Baldur's Gate came out, you were expecting that.
Yeah, but they had something like, I don't know, 1 million players, and now they're down to 300,000 active.
But like I say, it's the same with everything. It's the new shiny. We're like a bunch of crows, aren't we? We're like, oh, shiny, 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 must have. Baldur's Gate comes out, and Baldur's Gate is so ridiculously massive. Not a game that I play, but I know Jay loves it, and it's crazy how many people come into my chat and like, are you playing Baldur's Gate yet? And I'm like, no, fuck off, get out. But like, yeah, it's you know, and when the next new thing, when like Starfield comes out, you'll have a load of people like going, oh, Starfield, you know. So and that will become exactly. Exactly. So you know, it's cycles, isn't it?
It is. The other game, it's just an indie game called Dustborn, where it looks like people are on a road trip in a sort of heavily oppressed world, and then it turns out that this lady, one of the main characters, and its words have power. So she would say something, he disrespects you, and this cop will turn around and go, he does, and start pointing a gun at him. So that seemed quite interesting.
Okay.
So do check out the trailer for that as well. Dustborn, that's called. And finally, the game that I'm really looking forward to that they announced is Alan Wake 2. Now, this finally answers the question of where the fuck has Alan Wake been for 13 years? I don't want to say too much because TJ hasn't played the game.
I finished the first one. No, you're right.
No. But so they sort of answered that question. It comes out October 27th. Of course it does, because why wouldn't it? Everything's out in October, apparently. So that answers the question. Do go and check that out. The new trailer looked very, very good. It seems to be that Alan Wake 2 is going to be set around 2 people. Alan Wake in one area and a female police officer, I think New York police officer, in another area.
You're teetering on giving too much information away.
Can't give too much away. Final bit of news from Gamescom is, of course, the Game Awards will be coming on about the 7th of December this year. So I'll be sure to check those out. I'm sure me and TJ will cover a little bit on the podcast, and TJ will absolutely hate it what gets Game of the Year.
Mate, no. I'm going to sit here and joyfully glee in the fact that you were wrong. Because if we dial it back, we'll dial it right back to when I made a comment about Hogwarts. When Hogwarts come out, I was like, the player base are feverish for Hogwarts at the moment, mostly because at the time there was a lot of animosity towards Hogwarts. And people seem to be like rallying. Like there seems to be a thing of like, well, you lot are boycotting it, so we're just going to play it even more. Like, you know, for whatever reason. And like, we're not getting into the politics of it because that's a whole different fucking ball game. But like, and I just turned around and said, is there a chance? Because people were so raving about it. I was like, is there a chance Hogwarts actually wins Game of the Year? And more because people are going to push it so much because of the animosity. And you were like, no, there's only going to be one winner, 100% guaranteed, one winner. And what did you say that winner was going to be, Jay? Zelda. Baldur's Gate comes out. One day later, it's like, fucking hell, it's the best game I've ever played in my life. Oh my God, this is like amazing. I worship whoever made this game.
Even you've got to admit that this year has been stacked.
Mate, games have been mental.
Games.
Like, this, and it's a return of actually like games from, was Elden Ring early part of the year or was that late last year?
It was late last year.
Late last year, okay. So Elden Ring. So from then, essentially, you could say like the actual developers making content that is worthwhile and like actually finished, polished, ready to go, listening to the consumer base. Not just this, I've got a game that's 7,000 hours to play, but you can only play about 10% of it, but you still pay full price. And at some stage, we'll release the rest of it, but it'll be behind a paywall. But there's so much stuff, and most of the stuff is actually regurgitated shit, just like with a different skin over it. But it's all great. And you're like,
you'll fight this enemy that's 20 levels above this enemy. That was the same enemy you fought 20 levels below.
They just seem to go through a period of time where it's like, it's not quality of content, it's just amount of content that we can release. Like, we need to come out and say, you're spending 60 quid in this game, we're giving you over 100 hours of gameplay. And you're like, okay, brilliant. But if that 100 hours of gameplay is turgid dog shit, I would much rather have 20 hours of gameplay that is stellar, award-winning, crisp, and clean.
It's not length of game; it's quality.
No, and replayability, being able to actually, which is what Baldur's Gate have done perfectly by the sounds of it. Like I say, haven't played it. Even me, I'm getting drawn into the. Do you know what? I'm kind of like, the more and more I see, I'm like, maybe, but. That's what you want. You like replayability and quality of content for your money.
Yes, exactly. Which is what shook everyone. All the devs have been shook up by Baldur's Gate. And Baldur's Gate, don't get me wrong, has been in early access for about 3 years. But because of that, they have churned out this deep co-op ready, massive game where you can affect and make different choices almost the entire way through. It is a D&D campaign. So on the roll of the dice, you get one option. On the roll of another dice, you get a different option. How you choose to deal with people in the world. I mean, this game allows you to kill anyone, whether it be by mistake, by saying the wrong thing. You can talk to people that you would normally get into a fight and talk them out of the fight, and then continue to go along your merry way. It's a fantastic game. I'm not going to blow it up too much, but like essentially, that is what changed my mind about Tears of the Kingdom. Now, Zelda, the reason I said that is because, one, Zelda is a very, very good game, but it is very similar to the game that came out previous, and that was Game of the Year. Everyone loves Zelda in a weird way. I mean, it's very, very good, 10 out of 10 game. But Baldur's Gate has come and said, I will give you a 100-hour game with a deep story that you can literally affect the outcome of the game. I mean, the game's got 1,700 endings. What game in this day and age, or any day and age, has got 1,700 possible outcomes for how the game concludes?
I know one.
Go.
Star Citizen, because they don't have a fucking clue. It's got an infinite number of endings because they fucking finished it and they never will finish it.
Never ever. Oh, there's a lot of controversy about that at the moment because Starfield's coming out, which is what I love. Starfield's coming out, and obviously, if I was CIG, I'd be going dustbin lid fucking rabbit.
Why are people going to put money into Star Citizen when they have a fully functioning? If it is fully functioning plan, obviously Bethesda have had their issues in the past. So we will wait with bated breath to see how polished it is when it actually comes out. But if it comes out like you hope it would be, why will people put money into Star Citizen?
Early reviews have gone out for Starfield, which is almost unheard of because they went out 2 weeks in advance. Now, that always screams to me they've got faith in their game because they're giving it out early. And also, it's not releasing it like you normally get, which is version 1. Yeah. This is at version 1.627812484.
Yeah.
Which means that they've just been working on it. Microsoft themselves, they took all the game testing devs off Forza, off Halo, off all the other things that they've got.
Put them on Starfield.
And pumped it straight on Starfield because this has got to be the game that works for them. This is such a massive thing. If they balls this up, Xbox will be dead to a lot of people. And I mean,
they need. The thing is, this could be the start, like you say, with the acquisitions that Xbox are trying to make.
Yeah.
This could be the start of what pushes Xbox to, we spoke before with our co-host Rich about Microsoft want to be, they don't want to be a hardware company.
No.
That's why they're making the acquisitions they are and everything. This could set them along their merry way. Or, like you say, it could throw a fucking huge spanner in the works.
Because the things that they've got coming to Game Pass. Now, bear in mind, Starfield is going to come to Game Pass, which means if you pay your subscription, I mean, there's a subscription.
I will play Starfield just because I pay for it.
He doesn't even like space games.
No,
He doesn't even like space.
No, but I like the exploration, the open world type thing, and that has the space shit flying around like that. If I can get over that, then the whole aspect of going to different worlds and stuff, I do find that interesting and intriguing. I've never liked anything. I don't like driving games. I don't like space games, like the flying around. I don't like that kind of shit. That's just me personally. Some people love it. I know you love it. You've got the flight sticks and everything. But the other aspects of the game, I find very intriguing.
Yes.
I just need to clear some space on my hard drive.
Yes, it's 146 gig or something ridiculous.
Yeah, if it is that, it's probably going to be like 220 or something mental. They're just lying to you. They say you only need 140 gig. You download, you buy it, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's got like an extra subset of 60 gig that you need, just like supplementary data. I'll be like, fucking hell, there goes my porn collection.
That's it. It's finished. No more big bush bitches for me anymore. Right, so that is all our entertainment news.
Well, I just wanted to go through and then give you the rest of the award winners from the Gamescom. So yeah, best trailer announcement, Little Nightmares. Best show floor was Bandai Namco Entertainment. Microsoft game was Mortal Kombat. Nintendo Switch game was Zelda. PC game was Payday 3. PlayStation game was Tekken. Mobile game was Sky, Children of the Light. Visuals.
Marvel Snap. That was.
No, Marvel Snap was in there, same as Genshin, Monster Hunter Now, and Paper Trail. But yes, Sky Children of the Light won. Best visuals was Black Myth, Wukong.
Oh yes, I didn't cover that, but that's another sort of Soulsy game.
Audio was Zelda. Gameplay was Zelda.
Yeah, a lot of people love Zelda.
Entertaining was Payday. Epic was Zelda.
Zelda still looks like it might be Game of the Year at this rate.
Well, there's nothing in here for that. None of these have Baldur's Gate in them. Baldur's Gate on in any of these lists. But anyway,
well, I'm shocked by that.
Wholesome. Sorry, yeah, Wholesome was Pikmin 4, and Games for Impact was Sky Children of the Light again.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
What was that? What did it win for? Oh, it's a mobile game. It's a mobile game because it won the best mobile game in there.
I just don't class mobile games, so I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest with you kids. I'm not against people who play mobile games. I can't.
Oh no!
What?
I've just seen a picture of the Porsche Xbox. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, it's horrible, mate.
I know we covered this before. I'm just looking at the images. It's ugly as.
Yeah, it's horrible, mate.
And it's going to be worth an absolute shit ton. Well, all of them. Yep. Actually, no. There is one nice one. The rest are awful. The one with just the blue and the red stripe that just goes diagonally. 43 Porsche. That's probably the nicest one. The rest just looks like the rainbow's puked up on them.
Yeah.
The green and blue one is awful.
Yeah. Really nasty. Really. I mean, thankfully, there's not many of them.
I don't get,
which is why they're going to be so expensive.
I don't get the link again. I understand. I understand Forza, but still,
I think it's Forza.
Yeah.
I think Forza looks like it's going to be good, but I'm not.
Not a racing
game. Massively into the sim racing games, if I'm honest.
Never have been. Like Gran Turismo a few years ago, like when I was younger, like, but nah.
I mean, I might download it and use the steering wheel with it. Maybe. Can't.
Nah.
I can't see myself being massively bothered though. I drive enough for work. I don't want to drive.
It's like when I have people in my chat saying, "Oh, you gonna play Lawnmower Simulator?" What the fuck would I do that? I cut grass for a living. Fuck off. Exactly. Landscape gardener. The last thing I want to do, I don't even want to cut my own goddamn grass. Fucking sod off.
My wife always asks me, "You're gonna have to fix our air conditioning." I go, "Kate, I will get someone from work to fix our air conditioning. I'm not fucking doing it myself. I do it all day. I'm not doing it here. Fucking, I need a break. From work." Talking about that, you doing anything nice for your bank holiday, TJ?
No, we're going to a friend's tomorrow. They always have a barbecue August bank holiday, or the Sunday of the August bank holiday. So we're going there tomorrow, and then Monday will just be a chilled day. I'm not streaming. I normally stream on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it's coincided nicely with Alien being released on the Tuesday, so I'm streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Makes
so
sense.
I've got a nice nice little day off on the Monday just to chill with the family.
I think I'm going to be streaming in the day on Friday because I'm off work on Friday and Starfield's out, so I should be playing one-handed.
Fuck's up. Jesus Christ. Fair enough.
What, it's feeding an horse?
Yeah. Fucking you fucking wish a horse. Fucking hell. Fucking.
Anyway, talking about that, we should probably move on to Twisted Knobs.
Yeah. It's come to the conclusion, and I have some thoughts.
I bet you have some thoughts. I'm looking forward to this. Me and TJ, just to give you a little bit of insider, me and TJ respectfully don't talk to each other about what
We fucking hate each other.
Yeah, we do. It's fisticuffs last Saturday. We don't talk about what we're going to talk about because it's more impactful if we have a bit of back and forth on the conversation.
We want it to be fresh content and fresh conversation. So yeah, we don't go over the things. We might just turn around and say this is what we're going to talk about this week, but we don't actually go into any detail about the subjects.
We save that all for you guys.
Yeah,
save it all for you guys. So episode 9, which I think is called
Roadkill. It's called Roadkill.
It's called Roadkill for a reason, which we'll get into.
Yes. You're going to have a lot to talk about links, about
loads of links.
Because I was watching these two and I was thinking, oh, Jay's going to be able to talk about this. He's going to be able to talk about this. He's going to be able to talk about this. He's going to be able to talk about this. It's like this too. It was like, how many Easter eggs? How many Easter eggs can we fit into the last 2 fucking episodes of the game? And I was like, oh, Jay's going to be literally feeding a horse.
So, this opens with Sweet Tooth and Stu talking to Mike.
Well, treating him like a dog.
Yeah, a little bit. Because they've used Mike to find out where all Stone's locations are.
Well, that's
slowly but surely burning down.
That's how he saved himself, wasn't it? Sweet Tooth wanted to kill him, and Mike was like, "Oh, I can lead you. I can lead you to where all the other bases were."
So they've gone through. Obviously, I think it was it the last episode where you saw that Sweet Tooth's all his followers had sort of been killed off by.
Yeah,
Stone.
they went to Blackfield Penitentiary, whatever, the mental asylum where he was held, and they'd picked off Stone, and his people had picked off his militia, his followers.
Yeah, his little followers.
And he thought fucking Harold had killed him the brown paper bag.
That's it. Yeah, Harold, why have you killed everybody?
Fucking hell.
I love Sweet Tooth. I can't deny it. I fucking love Sweet Tooth. I think he's been one of my favourite characters in the whole of this.
Oh yeah, he's up. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Mike tries to turn Stu to escape with him because they've been friends since 2nd grade.
Yeah.
I've got down here. Now, I mean, I can see it, but to be fair, Mike was a bit of a cunt to Stu.
He wasn't. So at first he kind of covered for Stu, didn't he? Because he took out he fired the shot that when thing, but then ultimately I think he realised that he fitted in and how to fit in with Stone's crew. But it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's.
I mean, if you've been mates from 2nd grade, there's always swings and roundabouts in there. I mean, that's what long-term mates are always like.
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth is ready to kill Stone. Mike and Stu put on the clown face, which was interesting.
Mate, and then he gets his he dips into his little friend Harold, doesn't he, and pulls out some lighter fluid.
Puts it on his head for things we'll find out later, which again is a bit of a nod.
Little Easter egg there, yeah.
Then we cut back to John, who's collecting parts of Evelyn. All boo-hoo, because Evelyn's been blown up.
Yes, From the tussle with the holy men, she blew up, didn't she?
Did like that car though. Can't deny it. Did like.
Yes, yeah.
Then we catch back up with Quiet, and she's crashed a car after dodging a doe in the road and saying, "Is that a vagina on the map?"
Yeah, she couldn't. She was struggling to read the map, wasn't she? Oh, and we also find out as well, don't we? Because John's watch goes off. It's 48 hours to deliver the package. It's down to his last 2 days. We had 10 days to deliver the package. It's down to his last.
He is fucking mowed across that fucking
Yep.
country.
Yep. 48 hours he has left.
And then I think doesn't quite get set upon by a vulture.
Yes, yeah.
He
She
comes
kind of
up in a
befriends
car.
him, doesn't she? Like,
She does. They have a bit of a heart to heart.
they have a little heart to heart and talk about their lost loves.
Mark, and Mark lost his girl to meth, and Quiet lost her man to
a car. Yeah, essentially. But then
Mark makes a weird remark about, like, let me think, blonde, buxom, rock hard shaft.
yeah. It was. I quite liked as well that the cat, like I say, who then came back and saved Quiet, because I did say earlier on that I actually liked her character. It was Amber, aka Flower Power. And I'm very glad that we got them back in. Like, we got she rolls up in the old convoy. She's obviously rejoined the convoy because obviously she was in love with Amanda Watts, aka Twister. And so I'm quite glad that we got to see them back in. And then obviously
crossbow straight through the noggin, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, straight through the noggin, no messing.
And they tied it quite nicely together as well about how they brought John and Quiet back together, because John was actually in the convoy.
He
so
found a CB radio.
He found a CB radio and a shitty old car that wouldn't start. So you're like, well, how are these two going to link back up? Because John's got no transport. Then he finds a CB radio, and it all links in quite nicely.
I mean, I thought it was very, very good. You find out a little bit more about, well, that's it. John's on board, and Quiet is pissed.
Yeah, she's not. It's understandable, isn't it? Because like she's essentially, she has feelings for John. She feels like they're a partnership, and ultimately John's like obsessed with this car, and he won't leave this car. But I kind of felt sorry for John a little bit, because we obviously know his backstory more. The car is everything to John. It's been everything to John for 20 years. You know, it's been his safe haven. It's been his So of course he's going to have an attachment to it. But yeah, I felt the whole. I don't know. It was another one of those. You're sitting there and you're dragging time out. I felt a little bit with the let's repair the car and have a conversation, and you know, it's just like it was just like, okay, you're dragging shit out now. Like, just fuck it. We know where this is going. Just hurry up and get there.
Obviously, then they tell her that there's a gap. They found a gap because Stone's gone back to the dam, and they won't be able to get past.
How fucking sus is that? Like, if you're like, and this is one thing that annoyed me, and I'll bring it back up again after we talk about 10. But it's like, oh yeah, there's like, he's got this epic wall of cars, the dam, but they have one access point. Oh, that doesn't seem fucking suspect. He's got one access point in the fucking dam. Like, of course that makes logistical sense to go for that, because no one's ever going to guard that, the big fucking hole.
We'll talk about the mountain of cars in a minute, because I've got some
fucking mental.
Then we cut to Stone, who turns out that, of course, it's a trap. He has made a gap in order for them to funnel.
He made a comment in the last episode, which was about hunting fish in a barrel. So obviously it makes total sense. He's going to funnel them in to a kill box scenario.
Exactly. Little does he know what awaits him when he gets there, however. But we'll get to that in a minute. Obviously, then you've got the big conversation about John talking to the car. Quiet gets mad. And then they do clear the air because he's carved
in her axe. I made her a little like quick access like axe panel in the car.
Which I suppose is just the symbolism of, like, he's saying, like, look, we're
together.
We're not on this on my own. Which he wants becomes more apparent a bit later on. They drive by on convoy. That's it. All the convoy gets.
Stone's men. This was weak for me. This was like probably the weakest part of the whole series. So they're just sitting there having a thing. Then there's a couple of shifts from the convoy, and they get tossed about a little bit. Like, what's going on? And there's like, oh, it's a drive-by, and then they like quickly dive, and there's a couple of bullet holes that go through the truck, and that's it. And then it's like cutscene to them in like the larger conference hall convoy, if you will, and they're like, oh, they fucking killed 3 of my men. It's fucking payback. And like Amanda Watts, and you're just like, hang on, I saw 4 bullets go through the truck. That was it. They killed 3 people. There was only 2 people in that. Like, it was just like, blink and you'll fucking miss it, and we've got to make up this bullshit storyline for it. I felt
you're forgetting the more important thing, TJ, which is if you killed 4 drivers, which is what they said.
Yep.
Fuck, did that convoy stay together?
Yeah. Well, actually, like, it kind of, like with something that happens in the next episode, it kind of ties it. So, but I was just like, oh, they just fucking breezed past that. I mean, I know we're going for like quick episodes, 30 minutes, but literally to just go, oh, by the way, oh, right, next bit. It's just like, the fuck just happened? Yeah, we just killed half of this fucking faction. Yeah. Oh, right, cool. What? Who? Where? When? Why?
Yeah. So the next, it was a little bit of an Easter egg that they did next, which is because she's picking that gun, isn't she? And he gives the big speech about like, if you have firepower, your firepower, armor, speed, and handling, which are the 4 stats from the game. You played the game.
I kind of figured that out. Like I say, I haven't played the game, but I kind of figured that out. Like, you normally get your attributes, don't you? And, you know, because he was making such a big point about, like, if you have too much of this, you affect this, and you affect this. And you're like, oh, okay, he's talking like a gamer would look at the statistics.
Exactly. So you can't have this. It's got to be fast. It's got to be this.
Yeah.
And she gives him a suck job, and it's like, well, as long as you're fast enough. Which is, all right, I get it. Then they try different parts.
They put a ballistic wind
speech.
Well,
sorry, Karen.
He finds a ballistic windscreen, doesn't he? Just so happens to find a ballistic windscreen that fits.
Exactly.
Which then leads on to the question she
all
asked.
All bullets, apparently, somehow.
Yeah, like, yeah. Okay.
All bullets, apparently. And not leave the massive crack that if you've ever seen a ballistic windscreen.
Yeah, they still do like shatter and stuff. They just don't penetrate, but you know.
So, and then he teaches her about how did he learn how to fix cars, which you try different parts until it fits, which is not how you fix cars, kids. Don't try that.
No, don't try force icon till it fits and then go, yeah, I fixed it.
Don't try that. Let me tell you, I don't fix any cars, but I know.
That's not how you do it.
Just
whack them in the. Oh, this thing's just fine. It's a square peg. I've got a round hole. I can make this fucker fit.
I will just shave the corners off this thing and it's circular. Then, of course, they name the car Roadkill.
Roadkill. Now, she names it Roadkill, doesn't she? Yeah, she picks it.
Because it looks
Which
like Roadkill.
Is his name?
John Doe's car in the video game.
Yeah.
And it looks almost exactly like John Doe's car in the first video game. So I was pleasantly surprised with that.
I kind of when like they were talking about it, I was like, when they announced that, I was just like, I swear I've heard that name or you mentioned that name before. So I was like, oh, okay. It's tying it in. And I tell you what, right, this... no, actually, we'll come back to this after we spoke about the last episode, but remind me to come back to the name of the car.
Yes, I will. Then we see, of course, sex tunes for Tasha.
Yes, that was the mixtape, wasn't it? The mixtape that the Vulture had for his meth-addled girlfriend.
She's doing meth with little baby Jesus.
Yeah. She's up there doing meth with the baby Jesus. Fuck's sake.
That's hilarious. And of course then we get on to the bit where the inevitable wall of cars. Now, when I say wall of cars, how did that wall stay up, TJ?
Right, okay. So from the engineering degree that I definitely have, from MIT, which I've definitely went to, I could say structurally, I understand how like that would stand up to a Force 9 gale. We're talking, it must have spanned miles.
Yeah.
But like
12 cars high or something.
12? Are you a 12? Try like 40. It looks fucking ridiculous. It was like at any point
I saw Jon Snow scaling.
at any point, if I was standing next to that, I'd be looking at it going, oh, I'm fucking brown bread, mate. This shit's all coming. It's like fucking Jenga. This shit's all coming down on me. Like how that doesn't sway in the fucking wind. Yeah. There's no chance. It's it's mental. It's mental. It's and like I say, for them to pull up, right, logic has got to prevail. If you pull up, it is literally a mountain of a wall, cars on both sides, and then there's this opening in the middle, and it's perfect. It's like fucking Jurassic Park when the gates open. It's a perfect fucking opening. And you're like, I'm not going through that.
No.
Because that's fucking definitely a trap. It's like, it wasn't even like this secret, like we've made a hole. that we've covered over. You know, like mules do, like when they get in, not mules, the traffickers, the human traffickers. They're like the tunnels, and they've got secret tunnels and shit. They make it less obvious by hiding these tunnels. No, this is just a fucking whopping great hole in the wall. No one will notice. No one will notice.
24 cars.
Perfect straight fucking lines, mate. But yeah,
the protractor out and going right.
But they went through it.
Yeah, it's 90.
But yeah, they were like, yeah, this doesn't seem suspect at all. Ridiculous.
I think that was actually one of the arenas from the first Twisted Metal
Well,
game.
when they started to drive through, and they drive. They drive through. They see the cars, and it trails back to the purple hearse thing, isn't it? The Quiet and the Brother. That they write resisted, don't they? It's a big thing, resisted on the cars, and that's when she realizes, Quiet realizes it's a trap, as they're just pottering through. All these cars are linked around, and then all of a sudden, all these people pop up, all the officers pop up, and they're like, and it was like, okay, this is Twisted Metal. Like in my mind, this is Twisted Metal. We're just gonna have, it's like Destruction Derby. Here we go. Let's with machine guns. And then Sweet Tooth fucking turns up and sets his fucking head on fire. Sets his fucking head on fire, and he's just there with his fucking head ablaze, and you got Stu and Mike in the back, like, oh my fucking god,
what's going on?
It's like, I mean,
light me up, Stu.
And to be fair, for as much as I so that's where the episode ends, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of felt, I was like, oh, it was the worst episode because it was the most uncoherent bullshit episode. And we
got to get here. We got to get
here.
Yeah,
it just didn't make any fucking sense. It just had so many, like I say, from the hole in the wall, from the fucking drive-by, that just like, it was just like, it just seems like they've cobbled this together to get them to this point. And it was like, okay, but it ended. So with all that negative, it ended, and I was like, fucking, I got to watch episode 10. Can't wait to watch the last episode, because it was like, this is Twisted Metal. This is what we've been leaning towards. A massive fucking car, like advanced Carmageddon warfare. This is going to be great. But it is exactly how it starts in episode 10. Like, what is it called and everything? Have you got the name? It's called
Shangri-La.
That's it, Shangri-La. Yes.
Shangri-La is what it's called. So the arena fight starts. I thought it was a good fight. I thought there was a lot of cool moments in there. I mean, it was Hollywood as fuck. But
it was, but it starts, doesn't it? Where like so what we've got essentially, we've got John and Quiet in Roadkill. We've got Amber, Twister, and the lady with the bionic arm, the mechanical arm.
I think she's just called Mechanic.
Okay, in what we perceive to be the last convoy truck. Because they did say, didn't they? They did say they didn't want anything to do with Stone. They were going to drop. They were going to give them a lift, essentially, to the wall, and then they were going up north. It wasn't their fight. They weren't interested. Then the drive-by happened. They said, our truck, 4 of our drivers died. So you assume that means they lost 4 trucks because they got killed and they're fucked off. So they went through the wall as well, and they were part of the and then Sweet Tooth pulls up alongside. So you've got Roadkill, the truck, and Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth pops in, has a little conversation with John and Quiet while his fucking head's ablaze. He's like, oh, hi. And they're like, hi. And they're like, yeah, it looks good. How you doing? Yeah, it's great. Fucking
I love that. She goes, I'm glad you kids worked it out together.
Yeah, because they kiss, don't they? They kiss, yeah. And it's like, oh, hi. And obviously that's when Sweet Tooth's like, oh, you leave Stone. Stone's mine. I'm going after Stone. And then all fucking
mad missiles that come off with pink.
Oh mate, that's fucking quality. But he's going all fucking hell for leather. They're all, aren't they? Yeah. They're and they kind of get so they're in a car park essentially, aren't they? Yeah. But it's a car park that's adjacent to a racetrack, which obviously plays in nicely for Amanda.
Twister.
For Amanda. Yeah. But so they get pushed onto the race course. Stone is chasing John and Quiet on the race course and launches a heat seeker missile, which obviously Amanda, Twister, she's got the Formula 1 car, rocks out, Darts.
Somehow faster than a missile. We won't get into
Well, darts in front of the missile, heat-seeking missile. It takes then obviously it goes after her. Then there's this little montage of her driving around the track with the thing like it's like gaining, it's getting away, it's gaining, it's getting away, it's getting away, and essentially, she manages to do that classic thing that you see in like movies with like helicopters and everything, where you like you head towards an enemy vehicle, swerve out the way, and then the fucking rocket just goes and blows up the enemy vehicle.
Somehow fucking Stone's got the reflexes of a mongoose.
Yes, it's like whoop, whoop. It's like okay, and then the fucking idiots get murdered behind him.
That they do in the pink Cadillac.
But then
pink,
in the pink hearse, yeah. But then obviously, like you said, Sweet Tooth has got on top of Sweet Tooth's truck is a big, massive fucking clown head, just like it wibble wobbles around. But what we didn't realise is it's full of fucking rockets, and they literally just in all directions. But unfortunately. He misses Stone, doesn't he? And he
does.
He takes out the fucking convoy. Does it take out the convoy truck?
Yeah,
he does. He takes out the convoy truck.
We forget that, like at the start, just before all that happens, Amber gets shot in the neck.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah. Amber got shot in the neck. That's right.
And then Sweet Tooth, because he goes after Stone, completely misses it. And I mean, Stu and Mike go, "They're on our side," and he goes, "There's no sides."
Well, and also it. Mike saves Stu, doesn't he? Because Sweet Tooth's going fucking mental, and Stu's like, "What are you fucking doing?" Yeah. And he's going mental. Like they go over a bump or something, don't they? And Stu nearly falls out the back, and Mike saves him, grabs his arm, saves him from falling out the back. And it kind of you get that moment again where they're like, "No, we are buddies. We need to stick together." That kind of, and that's then leads to.
Mike trying to kill
Mike going, "Oh, we got fucking in this." Tries to kill Sweet Tooth. Yeah, Sweet Tooth grabs him and's like, "Stu, you need to finish your dog. Kill your dog." Yeah. And Stu shoots once again. Shoots Sweet Tooth in the face,
in the eye,
in the eyeball, but he's not fucking dead.
Well, he's got psycho strength, mate. He's got psycho.
Yeah, so his head's on fire. He's missing an eyeball. Yeah. Okay.
And then Sweet Tooth jumps out of his ice cream truck.
Well, because Stone comes up. Yeah, Stone starts. Stone gets behind the ice cream truck, doesn't he? And starts. Yeah.
And then Sweet Tooth.
This was a great sequence. It was a great sequence of events, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not only has Sweet Tooth now been shot in the face, he's got his head on fire. Jumps onto a moving car and starts punching the shit out of it.
The windscreen, yeah,
and then he falls off, and then Stu runs him over.
he rolls off, yeah, doesn't he? Stone manages to like flick him off the car, and he's like, he gets up, like, and then he's just like, bam, and it's like, but
Stu said, like, should we go back? Like, no,
but I wrote this in my notes. This is what I wrote. You don't see him dead in capital letters. You just see the mask on the floor.
You do. That is the only thing that you see is the mask falls, and obviously, Well, we'll cover this in a bit actually. So then Stone gets the drop on Quiet, doesn't he? Hold on, where am I?
No. They end up playing chicken, don't they? They end up they spin around. They're facing each other. They're going to play chicken, and this was probably the best car sequence, because I was not expecting it. I haven't played the game, so I don't know if this ability is in his car, but
it's a special ability. Yeah.
So they're driving one-on-one, like head onto each other, and they've put this special thing on the bonnet so that the bonnet slides down and becomes a ramp. So they do that just in front of Stone, and Stone's like, shit. Because he can't do anything but flip over the top of their vehicle and go flying off. Bearing that in mind, right? So he's gone off the top of their car, flip, land on a roof.
Yeah.
And the next scene, they're all unconscious. Yeah. But he's the first one out of his car that's flipped on its roof and dragged her out. And you're just like, and Mike, John is like proper out fucking cold. You're like, how are they out cold? What happened to them? Like, they've just come to a stop after. Like, this is like, once again, continuity isn't there, but okay, we'll just have fucking cars blowing each other, like whatever. But Geezer's got shot in the eyeball. He's not dead. There is no such thing as continuity in this series.
Video game at this point.
He's a fucking mate. Video, yeah, he had 100 life. He's now only got 37 left. Okay, but he's still alive. It's fine.
So Stone gets a drop on Quiet.
Drags her out the car.
A big speech and gives him the because she goes like, "Who's going to save you?"
Well,
And
he does the montage, doesn't he, about like,
Yeah.
oh, this is why I'm the law, like his
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Judge Dredd moment, and she's just like, no, you're a dickhead. Which
you're always a rent-a-cop, and you'll always be a rent-a-cop.
yeah,
basically.
pretty much, yeah.
And then she gives him a knock-knock joke, and then John answers. Finally, gets that fucking throw in the axe knife, fucking.
Well, that was quite savage.
Yeah,
Straight like
in
the face, in the lower parts. We covered the like
Yeah.
just from the tip of his nose down here.
That's it. That's it. And then she gives Stone the same thing that he gave her brother, which is you've got a choice. You can die slowly or you can
quickly.
die quickly.
Yeah.
Gives him the gun.
Do you want to
they
know?
Drive off.
No. Say what you just finished that sentence.
And you say then they drive off. You hear a gunshot, but you don't see him dead.
In capital letters once again. Don't see a dead. I've got capital letters multiple times in this episode. You don't see a dead body. And once again, we'll come back to this at the end.
100%. Amber apparently is still alive, even though she's been shot in the face and the whole truck got blown up.
Neck. She got shot. Well, she got shot in the neck, didn't she? But she had the mechanic tied like a tourniquet type thing around her neck. But the mechanic is dead, essentially.
She's very dead from the looks of things. And obviously, then what's the
John and Quiet.
What's her name? No.
Amber. Fucking Twister. Watts.
Twister.
Yeah, Amanda.
She makes
Amanda.
that revenge. She makes that revenge plea, and
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I'm going to fucking kill everyone for this. So, I mean, from what I've heard, just FYI, this is probably going to get a second season.
Well, it's once we get to the end of this, we can because there's a big
They finally get to San Francisco.
Yep, John and Quiet arrive together. Yep.
So just straight through, as they do. Raven comes out after a little bit of a ding dong because the main guy, Bill.
Yeah, the main guard on the door. He no longer is on the door. He got promotion.
Yeah, he's clearly had a promotion. There's a lady guard there now. So he gives the package to Raven. So she's all happy about to do her half of the deal, but Quiet's not allowed in.
No.
So Quiet not willing to make John suffer because she's not allowed in.
Yeah, because John isn't going to go in, is he? John isn't going to go in. John's like, no, we're in this together. We're either both going together or we don't go in at all. So yeah,
in all logical sense, she shoots him.
Shoots him in the shoulder,
obviously, yeah.
So that to force him to take inside for the medical, and then she fucks off. And there's a nice little thing. She gets given a package, and they're like, they turn around and say, well, you're now the milkman, and she's like, fuck this shit, and throws the package to the starving people outside.
She sort of sets her on a path as well, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
See a little bit more about that as it goes on.
And then
John's, we could sort of John in the walls then, don't we?
No. Before that, we get the reveal of what was in the box.
Oh, yes.
So Raven,
he traveled 10 days.
He traveled 10 days. The most important thing, life on limb, what she got given by Calypso was a sealed box that was a freezer container, and it had ice cream in it. Not just any ice cream, Rocky fucking Road. She wanted pistachio. Now, I am a massive fan of pistachio ice cream. It is a luxury ice cream, and I can understand sending someone 10 days across country to get it. But she gets fucking Rocky Road, and I agree with her. What a pile of shit. Like, Rocky Road. No, Rocky Road for me, in ice cream, just quickly. Rocky Road for me is that, like, we've got this shit left over from all the other crap that we've created. What do we do with it? I would just stick it in a fucking tub and hope for the best. That's Rocky Road. There's no, like, rhyme or reason why you would put marshmallow, cherry, and it's just some people love it, other people it's like, bleh. It just doesn't, like, it's one of those.
I don't mind eating Rocky Road.
I don't. I've had ice cream. It's fucking not very nice, and I'm like meh on the bits that you're talking about. Yeah. But so
again, even Rocky Road, the biscuit seems like, well, we made Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
But then
we had this other shit left over here. So like, the old thing about what they say about sausages, how it's just the crap on the butcher's floor they scope up and they will stick that in the sausages. So what's fucking Rocky Road is, mate? Yeah, it's the sausage of the confectionery world.
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
But yeah, and then Raven tells the security guy who got the promotion, They start talking about like they have a plan for John,
Yeah.
and this is when you start going, oh yeah, okay, this is the evil side of her that we start that we knew about, but yeah, okay, and then it goes on to
we watch John try and fail at riding a bike a lot.
well, he's been in there a month at this stage, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
a month has passed, and you can tell just by that little montage, it's a very monotonous time inside the wall for our good old friend Johnny Boy.
He draws a nice dick every now and then, though.
On his frosting.
Yeah, he's frosting. That's a nice dick.
Uh,
But you see him slowly but surely sort of lose his interest in staying there because he's thinking about quiet. He gets to try pizza for the first time.
Yes.
On a date.
And
With the guard?
I love the fact that he still hasn't learned how to use a knife and a fork, and he's been in there for a month. He's literally like this with a knife and a fork. Like I thought it was great.
I loved how he treated the delivery guy. He goes, "Oh, I've got to give you something,"
and he gives him
a load of
bullets, and then it's like gives him money, and he says, "Right, oh yeah, I hope this will keep the fire going well for you." It's like, well, I mean, mate, do you see how much money he fucking gave him? $40 for a fucking pizza. I was like, Jesus Christ, fucking hell, what kind of pizza is this? It's got truffles on it.
In life.
Well, it probably was for John because it's the only pizza he's ever had. So it probably was the best pizza.
He didn't look that impressed. I think he'd rather have pizza with Quiet. Though.
With Quiet, yeah, definitely, definitely.
We see Quiet as taken to Robin Milkman.
She's become the Robin Hood of Twisted Metal. Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking half the delivery and just giving it to the people on the road. She's sick of the system, wants the system to break.
Yeah.
Which, makes sense, I guess. Makes sense. Then we move... Oh, I forgot to mention that John's bed is a racing car bed.
Yes, yeah. It's a child's... Yeah. This is key as well, don't it? Because we do see during that montage, we see like him making like he's walking down the street. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey John, how are you?" He's got friends in the pub. He goes to the pub and he's drinking a beer, and he's got these guys around. And we're like, "Oh, tell us about your adventures, John." And they're like, "Oh, John, you're so cool. You're awesome, John." And then we find out that Raven's actually like through fear and intimidation, making these people befriend John and try and make feel John welcome because she has plans.
She does have plans. And of course, John comes in one day into the bar where he's got some friends and all the girls just stare at him. And he decides that he's leaving.
Yeah. He misses his lady.
Yeah. Raven probably doesn't take that too well, I suspect.
Well,
she has plans.
Yeah, she has plans. But this was a nice little touch, actually, because she's like, "Oh, come for a walk with me first." She takes him to this really nice house, and is like, "Oh, he just thinks, doesn't it, that this is an upgrade from the apartment I'm living in. You're going to give me a house. This ain't going to keep me here." And this is when she was like, "No, this is your house. This is the house that you grew up in." And then like she gives him a load of old photographs, and he goes down that old memory lane, and that's where we find out how he actually learned to drive a car. It was his dad that actually showed him the basics, his mum and everything, and he starts to remember a little bit about who he was.
But he rejects it.
Yeah.
He rejects all of it. He says, "No,
that's
I'm
not me. Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, I'm not that kid anymore." So, of course, then Raven loses her shit.
Which gives him the real reason. Real reason.
So John gets held up by gunpoint, and Raven says the truth, which is, right, there's a guy. He's called Calypso. He wants to hold a tournament.
Yeah.
A car racing tournament. The only thing that you have to do is survive. And John, you're the best.
And what do you get if you win?
You get your dreams come true, which is exactly the same
as the game.
Video game.
Yep.
That's how the game does it. Calypso has a tournament, and he says that if you win, I will make your wildest dreams come true. So that's obviously very, very addictive. And that's more or less coming towards the end, except there's two more scenes. Two,
yeah. This I really liked. This bit here, because obviously, like you say, you've got the little bit before we get to Dollface, like Quiet, the car's broken down. Quiet's trying to fix the car, and she finds herself talking to the car. And she's like, "Why the fuck am I talking to the fucking car?" And then she carries on talking to the car, and then she remembers something John said about you just keep messing around with stuff until you find something that fits, and she magically finds something that fits and fixes the car.
Yep. Then she goes on a lovely little drive, and she hits a spike strip.
Yep.
Takes out all the wheels, all of them.
Yep.
And then
she enters the purge. Lady. She enters the purge anarchy, mate. Fuck's sake.
Just 100% enter the purge. She walks in front. A very attractive black lady walks out in front.
Hang on.
And she's got a dog.
How can you say she's very attractive when she's wearing a full face mask? We don't know. She could look rough as a box of badgers.
I'm talking about that sexy leg that she had on show.
Oh, okay.
Very sexy leg.
I was more interested in like in a sword that she's carrying, thinking like she's going to be Twisted Metal's version of Michonne.
Well, it's another nod because Dollface is a character from Twisted Metal.
She's got some groupies as well. There was a fuck ton of them, weren't there? There was a lot
The
of doll
dolls.
faces.
Yeah, the dolls are with her. And she says, I've been waiting to talk to you, Quiet. I believe that you know my brother. He goes by the name
John.
John. Creepy as fuck.
And then she gets that like...
Yeah.
You're always waiting for the... Yeah, I was going to say, you're always waiting for the dun dun. If this was EastEnders, it was the dum 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 dum.
Come in next week, kids. And then a final after credits scene shops up as well.
Yes, because that is where our season finishes. Officially finishes.
And
then it's the most perverse. Scene. This is the most perverse scene in the whole thing. Like fucking like this was just disgusting. It was funny, but it was like, oh, when I realised what they actually were, what they were sitting next to, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Why don't you tell them what they're sitting next to, mate?
So, pan camera to a beachfront, and there's Stu and Mike, and they're partaking in a little campfire, and they've got their little wieners. Long dogs, they call them. I've never heard it called a long dog, but okay. So they're cooking up some long dogs, and they've got some chairs next to them, and they mention their girlfriends, and it's a couple of fucking sex dolls. And I was like,
and then somebody else makes an appearance.
Well, no, hang on. Before we get to that, the whole thing about like he tried to fuck her in the sea, but she sank. I was like, oh mate, it was like fuck. It's like, why did you take her in the sea? He's like, no, I tried to do that before, mate. She sank. I was like, oh no. But then, our good old buddy Sweet turns up.
Sweet Tooth shows that I'm not dead. Very not dead, in fact.
Oh, yeah. Finish this, but we have to go back to something quickly.
Yeah, the roadkill thing.
Yeah. But it all link in. Finish this bit about Sweet Tooth and.
So Sweet Tooth goes. I think he grabs them both, or does he just grab?
Well, you see his machete go up in the air.
That's it.
And then it drops, but then it goes back up in the air, and you just see blood splatter everywhere.
That's right. Yes.
And then he drags Stu away. So he's killed Mike, and he's
or at least taken something off Mike.
Oh yeah, dead body. Yeah. No, don't see dead body. Although I would assume that is dead, Mike, because I can't like. But then I don't know. But
the only reason I say that is because Mike and Stu are characters in Twisted Metal.
But okay. This is what brings me back to this. One thing we didn't cover is that when Raven is telling Mike about this tournament, it shows a person standing in front of a what are they called when they've got them on both sides? You know, like in football and stuff. Bracket. It's the brackets. So you've got the left hand side, the right hand side. This person be this person, this person be this person, and everyone moves on. Obviously, I don't think that's how it's going to work. And they start showing pictures of people, and we see. This is what thingy you see. What's her face? Amanda. You also see Mary, Bloody Mary, who we was supposed to be dead. We assumed was dead. And then there's some other characters. You see a black guy standing with no shirt on, and he's just holding two tires.
Yeah, that's a character.
So you're like, oh, okay. But it was just like
Axel.
Okay, and then obviously you see John. I swear there was another one, but I can't remember who it was.
You're on about Mr. Grimm.
That's the guy with the mask.
Motorcycle.
Yes. But it was just like that's the one I was like was Bloody Mary. Was the fact that if you actually think, and this is what made me think as well, Stone's not going to be fucking dead because nobody obviously dies in this fucking series because Bloody Mary left for dead. Essentially, we think she fucking axed her in the heart or whatever it was. No, she's not fucking dead. Sweet Tooth, obviously not dead. We knew he wasn't dead. And Stone's not going to be dead. Stone's going to come back with some gnarly ass fucking scar on his face in the next series. No one's fucking going to die.
I'm interested because there's a character who smashed a melon with his penis.
Oh,
Mr. Slam.
Mr. Slam, that was it, yeah.
Now, Mr. Slam drives a digger truck in Twisted Metal.
He seemed a bit of a pussy, not being like other than like he owned the bar, but it was like he smashed the thingy and then hid behind the bar, didn't he? He didn't seem like he would be one that would partake in the actual like in anything.
They killed a lot of other characters, well, PSP game characters in that bar as well. So the one weird guy, I can't remember his name now.
Pit Viper as well. We only
Viper,
see her
yes.
briefly, don't we? We know she's still alive because she told Stone. So maybe that's a character to come. But
Pit Viper is a character in the game as well.
So, with that in mind,
Yes.
it's lined up season 2. So they're gonna make season 2. I'm like weirdly obsessed with like just gonna say as well, Nev Campbell. Oh my god,
Yes.
stunning,
Yeah.
stunning,
For her age, incredible.
stunning.
Incredible.
Anyway, do you want my opinion as a whole as a series, or just these last 2 episodes, or both?
Just give me the last 2, and then we'll do the whole.
Disappointed. Disappointed. I felt let down, and I think in the overarching, it's left me disappointed with the series as a whole. Like the fact that they fucking not killed anyone, essentially, in my eyes. Like I still think Stone's alive. Like I just don't feel like we've had growth in John and Quiet, and other than that, the rest, like the whole, but nothing that happened to them was consequential at all, because no one's fucking dead from it. Everyone's going to come back. Like I
suppose it's because they want to line up this tournament to have old beefs and things. I suspect. That's what
I don't know. I just felt it was like I say, 9 felt rushed. It was like we've got to get through and have all this happen to create animosity. We need to create the animosity for Heather and Amber. Yeah. Like, so in one episode we've got to fucking have the whole convoy killed. Amber nearly fucking die. Like the mechanic die. So we need to rush this fucking through as a subplot within inside this episode, so that we line up Amber for because Amber's picture show, Heather's picture shows, doesn't it, on the board? Yeah. And I just, and then, and that was only half the that whole. I just felt it got really rushed, and the whole ending of it. We've got this race, and we're going to get like your heart's desire, and I'm like, I know where this is right, and this is my thing, and I'm going to preempt this. Season 2, we're going to have the tournament. John's going to win. And Nev Campbell's going to get fucked over because it's like the djinn, like in the movie Wishmaster. Yeah. Your wish is actually a twisted wish, which somehow reverses back and fucks you up. Like if anyone who's watched Wishmaster, someone would wish for something and they'd get it, but there'd be something like there would be a thing from that you're fucked up pretty much. You're gonna get killed.
You'd get it, but it wouldn't be the way that you want it to
and that's what's gonna happen. The season 2 is gonna be this race, and fucking John's gonna fucking win. And I'm looking at it now and going like,
I would like to think that they are gonna do the tournament.
It's lined up so easy for them to do that.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna fill it out. I don't think you're gonna see. Don't get me wrong. The last bit of the tournament is definitely gonna be the last episode, but I think they're going to try and fill it out with, more John and Quiet coming back together and trying to escape the tournament. A bit Running Man, if anything.
Yeah, I just don't like.
Have to wait 2 years.
The season I've been. I've always said, didn't I? This season, like, whereas I think there are mass highs in like The Last of Us, and whereas this, it's been like up, down, and it's not a steady Eddie series. There's been peaks and there's been real highs and real lows in episodes, and there's been certain things that I've really loved about this series, and I just felt how it ended. I just literally watching those last 5 minutes where Raven tells him, and I'm just sitting there like, this is just it's. Do you know what it reminds me of? Right, there's a game that I played. It's a supermassive game. It's called Little Hope, right? And it's one of the better games in the Dark Pictures anthology that they made. It's a really good, solid game all the way through. And at the end of it, I sat there, I was like, oh my God, the ending happens the way it happens. I was like, it's just ruined the whole fucking game for me. Yeah. Literally, the last 2 minutes of the game, the conclusion of the game, just made the whole rest of what I'd played seem fucking pointless, stupid, and incoherent. And I felt the whole fucking same way about this. I just come away from it feeling that this is a letdown ultimately, and I will watch the second series, but I'm less interested for a second series than I feel I would have been after Like, even with Sweet Tooth, I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. We knew he was alive. He's killed Stu, but I'm just like, do you know what? Maybe this has run its course with one season, and I wouldn't mind if it didn't. If you told me it didn't get the fan for all
Green
that
light.
they were hoping, and it didn't
Yeah.
get a green light, I'd be like, yeah, cool, no worries.
That's fun. I think it was a success in turning Twisted Metal, which is very much a carnage sort of a game. I thought it was a good way to do that. I will agree with you that like the end was a little too rushed and trying to get to a finishing area that was I think I'm more interested in season 2 because I want to see more of that vehicular combat.
Yeah,
I'd like to
okay, I
see a
get
lot
that.
more of that, and I'd like to see how they're going to do that. I'm hoping that this first season has cleared up a lot of the bollocks, if you know what I mean. 'Cause you got a lot of people's backstories. I don't really need to see that. I'd like to
Yeah,
see a
but
bit more.
you're guaranteed because you've got his sister, you've got other new characters that are coming in.
Yeah.
You're like, and you talking about the vehicular stuff. The vehicular stuff was so ludicrous that the problem is 10 episodes, and at least more than half the episodes are going to have some kind of like to get through
Combat.
this tournament. It's just like, how stupid can we get with a car? It's
fair.
like very Fast and Furious 9, like,
Yeah.
and I'd
like to think that they're going to go a bit more Mad Max with it. Is what I'd like to see. I think I'd like to see, instead of because they showed it sort of a 1v1 car thing, which I'm.
do you know where I feel it's going? Death Race. It's going Death Race. But less of a race, more of a destruction derby. But that kind of thing, it's going to be more like because the win, like it'll be like the winner gets his freedom, and gets the wish and whatever and whatnot, and everyone else has got to. And then it's probably going to be a race to the death as well. So you're going to have like people like John's going to have to wrestle with actually killing someone, like maybe that he likes, like Amanda, or Bloody Mary, but essentially she probably should be able to murder Bloody Mary because she tried to murder him. And that's the other thing, the fact that when I saw her picture as well, I was like, literally no one can fucking die.
Yeah, everyone's immortal.
Like, it's just, how can you fuck, like... But I did say, I was just like, I did say when she got axed in the chest about her, like, the corset things that she was wearing, like, but it just, I don't know.
I think I would be happier if they sort of announced that the next season was it. Do you know what I mean?
It's got what I can't see how it
well, because people are immortal, TJ. So
yeah,
if you see a car explode,
Geezer's going to come out like the fucking T1000 liquid metal. It doesn't matter.
So I'd be happier if they sort of go, all right, well, the next season, we're going to kill fucking 90% of people, including people that you don't think will die, and then we'll keep. Some of the last sort of fight will be against people that you don't think.
Do you know who I seriously think they should kill?
Who's that?
And possibly even early doors. Quiet.
Yeah, I think you've got to.
I think by episode 3, she unfortunately, and I really like her as a character, but I think she needs to die. And maybe if Mike's alive, you get the. Although there's a lot of fucking blood. Don't know how he survives, but you get the Stu. I mean, you're going to have Stu and Sweet Tooth animosity, so you're going to have that little storyline play out. Maybe Stone kills Quiet and John gets his revenge on or Sweet gets the revenge on.
I think you've got to kill Stone pretty early on. I think he's had his story.
Or maybe let Quiet kill Stone and then Quiet dies somehow, maybe by Bloody Mary.
Yeah, maybe Bloody Mary. I mean...
Or Amber, or not Amber. Fucking Amanda. Maybe Amanda kills Quiet.
I think you've got to go deep into the everyone wants to win, all bets are off characters. Man, I'd even arguably say that you've got to watch John die.
It's going to be interesting because you mentioned something earlier about Running Man. Now, do you remember Running Man? Like they had the outsiders trying to hack their way in, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're going to get this is like a closed event. The races are kept like almost prisoner until they've got a race and everything, and the race is going to be televised in New Chicago or whatever. It's going to be this big furore like Mad Max Thunderdome type shit, right? And then, but you're going to have Dollface and Quiet as like they're the outsiders trying to hack their way in to say, like, to get to them. Maybe it goes on
you've got
that
to do
aspect.
something like that. I think you've got to do something because, let's be honest, 2 cars versus each other, 3 cars versus 3 cars. It will
get boring very, very quickly.
It's going to get stale. So you've got to have something to spice that up.
Yeah.
I mean, how they do it, I don't know. I mean, I can only suggest that they're going to get another season based off the viewership and how much interest they had with the content. I mean, people actually quite liked it.
I understand why. Like I say, up until the last 2 episodes, I was like, okay, this to me is like a 7. It's steady.
Yeah,
it's
a
6.7 to a 7. I would say it's steady. It's probably dropped to a 5. Which 5, as we've said.
Average.
Like a lot of people look at 5 and go, oh my god, for like 5's like that must be turgid. 5 is middle of the road, and I'm like meh. You know, it's meh to me. Like I've watched it.
Let's be honest.
I've watched it and I enjoyed some parts, but ultimately a little bit disappointed with how it ends, and I'm not too fussed what happens in the future with it. Although if it does get renewed, I will watch it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm
for the purpose of the pod.
It's probably more of a 6-7 for me because I have familiarity with the Twisted Metal series, and I'd like to see how John's story plays out. I don't want it to go far, if I'm honest. I don't want to still be talking about this season 5.
Mate, if it goes past season 2, I think there's that strong thing of it being like, it's just ruined the whole fucking franchise.
You've gone too far. If you really want to push it, then do 2 and do a film.
Even then, I don't know.
Because there's about a film's worth of entertainment left, really. You know, because the game fizzled out.
Yeah.
You know, because there's only so much you can do with cars destroying.
That's not a racing. That's not a racing game. Yes, no. I mean, what was it? You had what were they? Carmageddon, Destruction Derby, Twisted Metal. They're the 3 games, very, very similar, different but similar.
Yeah, different, but you know.
But the ethos of having like not driving a car around a racetrack, like the cars were used for destruction and in some parts maiming and murdering. But yeah, and where are those games now? Are they? Where's the PS5 and the Xbox One release?
No,
there isn't one.
Yeah. Twisted Metal went to, I think, PS3. Twisted Metal Black fizzled.
Yeah. Carmageddon, I don't know how far that went, and Destruction Derby.
Carmageddon got Carmageddon 2.
Well, I think Destruction Derby got 2.
Yeah, got 2. And that was on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Carmageddon fizzled out probably before the PlayStation 2 was even released.
So
it was a PC game.
But
so you know, don't get me wrong. If you've made your money back and you're going to get a second season, great. If you're going to go further than that, people are just going to fall off because it's just not that good of a premise.
Like I say, there are things to like. Okay, if you want like to say something good, okay, yeah, Sweet Tooth, Will Arnett, and Samoa Joe, very, very strong character. Like the whole package of the 2 of them working together. One to be the physical and one to be the voice. Very, very good from the series. I looking back at it, John Doe and Quiet, like to me they were not the main characters of the story, even though they were the main characters of the story. I actually felt they were quite weak in the end. By the end of it, I'm looking at it again like we've just watched this. Which this story is like, once again, it's like the whole love thing that I went about in like episode 5 or whatever. It's just the cut and paste any other 2 people from any other fucking rom-com bullshit. And that's what you've got in this series. I actually felt there was I think Stone was quite a decent villain.
I think he was strong as a villain. He cheated again.
I liked his origin story. I wish we had a little bit of a deeper origin story for him actually looking at it. I would have liked Stu to have a few more demons about whether or not he should be more like Sweet Tooth. That might play out in the second series, so that might be interesting. And that's the rest of it. And Evelyn was a wicked guy. Oh, I tell you one other character who I would love to see back. And actually, he is in season 2.
Yes, he's one of the what's called, isn't he?
You know, I'm going to talk. We're going to fucking monkey kung fu, where the holy man, the guy who's fucking like a fucking.
Well, I like
backflips and all sorts. Yeah,
fucking loads of things. So.
Yeah, because he's been in Brooklyn, hasn't he? So yeah, he's going to be in there. I liked his character. He wanted to fuck the tailpipe of Evelyn, didn't he?
Fuck this tailpipe.
So yeah, I'm like he will be. But other than that, we'll see.
Maybe you get to see a bit of Calypso. Maybe Calypso will be an interesting character.
I'll be intrigued to see who they get to play Calypso and what he like. I have no reference point to see what he looks like, how he will be. And yeah, we'll see.
You see a glimpse of him, don't you, from behind? It looks like he's got long black hair, basically. He's the guy.
Oh, that's the guy standing in front of the board. Oh, okay. Okay.
And you hear his voice and the creepy.
You hear his, but then that's But yeah, so ultimately for me, like it's still, if we go for the adaptations, The Last of Us still stands well on top, out on its own. We've got Fallout coming to judge like next year.
God of War's supposedly in
God of War. I feel God of War has the premise to be very, very good.
If done well.
It could look spectacular. The story, there will be a big issue if Christopher Judge does not play. Because although, Kratos...
He's probably a bit too old.
CGI, mate. Fucking CGI, it's fine. Okay, he's white. Kratos is white. And there's this whole thing about, but Chris... no, because he doesn't wear a mask. So I was going to say you could do the sweet tooth stuff, but no, you can't. But then Kratos is... You actually... No, mate, you look at Kratos. Kratos is old in the face. He's like... But once again, Christopher Judge might not look like a fucking behemoth.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's difficult because his fucking voice is like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, Dave Bautista will not be able to do that any fucking justice.
No.
That's a worry. That's a worry.
Said, Dave Bautista playing Marcus from Gears of War.
Yes, he's definitely vying for that, isn't he? He wants that role. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting. The Rock will get Kratos, mate. The Rock will get it.
I don't know whether The Rock's got the acting chops for that.
He doesn't. He doesn't. But what I'm saying is, he's like brick shit house. He's bald already. You know what I mean? It's like we'll just give it to fucking Rock.
Him throwing the axe and then dropping the people's eyebrow. I don't know whether I can get on board with it.
He'll be like, boy, and then raise an eyebrow.
Dropping the people's elbow and fucking giant orcs and stuff.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.
Roadkill. You were going to talk to me about Roadkill.
Yeah, I fucking forgot.
Of course you have.
Roadkill. Wow, it was earlier on.
The naming of the car is what it was.
Naming of the car was Roadkill. Yeah, I can't fucking think.
Anything to do with Evelyn, about how he chose Evelyn's name?
No, that was just through number plates, Roadkill. No, I can't. It'll probably come back to me like when I'm asleep and I'm like...
He'll text me later. 4 o'clock in the morning. Are you watching any UFC tonight, actually?
No, it was on earlier because it was in Singapore, so...
You watched that Fury fight? Fury versus...
That's Ngannou. I will do. It's a fucking shit show. It shouldn't happen. It's a money play. Fury... this is the thing. Everyone's talking about Francis Ngannou has like unholy godly power, but he's old. He's older. He's slower. He's had really bad knee issues recently. I don't feel that Fury will struggle. Like, if he gets lamped, like he got lamped by Deontay Wilder, got lamped a few times by Deontay Wilder. There is always that chance.
He is the sort of Rocky of the boxing world at the moment.
I just do not see it. Like boxing fucks me off, right? Just to go off on a tangent here, boxing fucks me off because boxing is like, we recently had Errol Spence Bud Crawford, brilliant. Waited for years for it, finally fucking got it. Like we wait for years for them to fight. Like Usyk was fighting Daniel Dubois today, should have been fighting Tyson Fury this year. Like, it's just I hate it. And the thing is, Usyk like Usyk said, I'll fight you. Like, give me a tenner and I'll fight you. I just want the fight. It's Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the biggest like blower of smoke up people's asses like ever, because he makes it out like, oh, I'm fucking the Gypsy King, I'll fight anyone anywhere, everything. I'm like fucking this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
When push comes to shove, you don't fucking fight people. Anthony Joshua fights no, but and I believe he will beat all of these people, but he doesn't fucking put it on the line. He's not, in my opinion, he's not a true champ until you beat the best, and he's going off to fight fucking Francis Ngannou rather than fight.
Isn't that almost all boxing?
Money grabs,
especially with the Logan Paul thing.
Oh, Logan Paul's. You mean Jake Paul?
Is it Jake?
I mean, like Logan Paul is fighting. Logan Paul's fighting Dylan Dennis, and KSI's fighting Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury, yeah. Jake Paul. Like, I've kind of made my peace with what Jake Paul's doing, and it is what it is. Like,
making people rich is what he's doing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like. I don't class him as a boxer. He's fought one real boxer. He lost, and I don't even class Tommy Fury as a real boxer anymore. And he lost that fight, and now he's fighting UFC. Like an MMA and boxing are. You might as well be playing fucking football and netball. It's everyone's got as a combat sport. It's not the fucking same. Distance, your movement, what you train, like how you train, why you train. Like you train to become perfect with two weapons. In boxing, you train to make your whole body a weapon in a certain way. In MMA, like
you can get people to tap, you can get people.
Yeah, it's like the whole like the defense, the movement, everything. Like, and have you noticed? This is the biggest key indicator of like how many boxers have gone into fight someone from MMA in an MMA cage. No. Why is that? Oh yeah, because they get their fucking ass kicked, and they know they would. The thing is, there is more money in boxing than there is MMA. That's why. That's ultimately that's why I say. Well, yeah. Well, think of it this way, right? There is and there isn't. This is the common misconception. People turn around and say, "Look at boxing. Look at Floyd Mayweather." They always take the 0.01%. Canelo's, Tyson Fury's, Anthony Joshua's, Deontay Wilder, Floyd Mayweather. And they said, "Look how much they earn." Boxing is so top heavy, it's unreal. So the UFC puts on, and Bellator, they put on a main event, and then a fight card with 5 cards on the main event of the fight. Yeah, 5 cards, 5 fights on the main card, and all of those will be, most of the time, especially in like a pay-per-view, they will be top level fighters. There'll be people from inside at least the top 15 fighting people inside the top 15. Championship fight on the top billing. Co-main event could be a contender fight, or it could be a title fight as well, depending on what the pay-per-view is.
Quite frequent as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're once a month pretty much. But they have fight nights like pretty much every week. Whereas boxing, your main event takes top billing, takes all the fucking money, and everything below it is normally trash. So, and people can't name most of the people under the main fight. People can't name who the fighters are. They don't know who they are, and that's why. So that's why you have your top level earning good money, and then everyone down below is fucking nothing. Whereas UFC, the top earn less. But as a whole, the card will earn more money. Like each individual will earn more money. So it's kind of a weird thing. Yes, UFC fighters or MMA fighters get paid less, but the average MMA fighter probably gets paid more than your average boxer who's not household names.
I see that.
But yeah,
I mean, at least that seems fair in the sport. It feels like, even if you've not made, let's just say you've not made him belt level in MMA, at least you're going to be able to earn a living off it.
I mean, yes, but there still is by far not enough money paid to fighters for what they actually have to do, for the training, for what they're putting their bodies through and everything. There isn't enough money in this. They're not paid enough, is what I should say.
Well, I mean, isn't that the case with most sports, really?
Well, unless you're fucking top level soccer, basketball, American football. Well. But then once again, it's top level, isn't it? The 0.01% earn all the big bucks.
They really.
So
it's announcement time.
We have an announcement, a little announcement. You want to lead off, Jay?
Yeah, so things in the background over here at the what's that one?
Opinions of the uninformed.
Opinions, opinions of the uninformed. We've been talking about something else so much that it's gone. Over here at the opinions, things have changed. You've probably noticed that we're down a person now. So we've kept this under our hat for a little bit, but recently, in recent news, don't need to give exact dates away, Rich decided that he was going to leave the podcast. We're very sad about it, but obviously me and TJ, we've been talking about it off air amongst ourselves and how we're going to go forward as this podcast.
Yeah.
And the answer is that we probably can't.
No.
So
we yeah, like and just to quickly jump in, like Rich Leaving isn't like he's not been kicked out.
No.
He's it's all to do with like scheduling conflicts with his work and just not being able to, because if you noticed when we started this pod, it was a regular, the three of us every week, and then we went like nearly a whole month without a pod because unfortunately scheduling conflicts. He started a new job. He was working nights. And it just become harder and harder to tie down the three of us to a regular spot. And Rich kind of just felt if he's unable to commit, it's unfair on us. It's also it's unfair on himself for us to be, constantly like, are you going to do a pod? You can do a pod,
Yeah.
So it kind of, he felt it's best to step away. We're still, Jay's best friends with him still, so there's no animosity.
There's no bad.
No animosity. We love Rich over here.
Yeah.
We love Rich. Mr. Live Convoy.
He may still guest up.
Yes.
Free, so it's not that he's not going to ever be part of this ever again. Hopefully, but for me and TJ to go forward, we decided that it would probably be best to just change it up a bit. So, with that said, we're going to change this, aren't we, TJ?
Yep.
Now, are you ready to do the thing?
Let's see you on the other side.
2 men, 1 pod, unapologetically unfiltered. To quote Ridley Squat.
Ridley Squat.
It's the Unfiltered Idiots podcast with Jay and TJ. Hello and welcome to the Unfiltered Idiots podcast, which is the new podcast. We'll be changing. That's it. We'll be changing just the YouTube channel will be the same. We're just going to change the title.
Yeah.
We have got some new socials, haven't we, Tej?
Yeah, we have indeed, which will obviously be put in the description of this. But yes, we now have our own Twitter. We have our own business email for anyone who wants to contact us. We have an Instagram. So yeah, we will, and we're going to try and be very active, putting stuff on these social medias. So hopefully you'll come and join us over there. And also, the way this is all set up now as well, we have set ourselves up to potentially have guests as well. Like I say, Rich will be hopefully popping in from time to time, and we can have some other guests, other streamers come in that we can chat to and everything. And yeah, it's the future is bright for the unfiltered idiots.
That's it, mate. So hopefully you'll all enjoy the great effort that TJ has gone to get this looking as good as it looks. Hopefully you enjoyed our little intro. We will have a little bit of merch probably on mine and TJ's TeePublic pages.
Yep.
So I'll be doing the occasional things that we take from the podcast and making them into tees with our little avatars that you can see on here at the moment. So the future is bright and idiotic, shall we say. So
and unfiltered. Because you wouldn't want us any other way.
No. You like to hear what we've got to say. Even if it is mainly nonsense. But we like nonsense. We've always liked nonsense. Right, guys. So that brings us to the end. I hope you've enjoyed our announcement. I hope you enjoyed our podcast. Hopefully you'll go back and watch some Twisted Metal. Let us know what you feel about it. If you think me and TJ are talking out our arse. We are, a lot, normally. So hopefully, guys, you've all had fun and you've all enjoyed spending your time with us. You can catch TJ this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yep, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday over on Proper TJ at Twitch.
And carry on.
I was going to say, obviously, the Alien DLC drops on Tuesday, so we'll be playing that. And we'll be playing some TCM again this week as well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You'll be able to catch me over on Twitch. I'm making a little bit of a return this weekend on Friday and Monday and Tuesday. I'll be playing Starfield. So if you want to come catch your space fix and see if it's any good before it's released on the 6th, then you can catch me on the 1st.
Oh, that's right. You got early access. Yes.
I have got early access. I got a fancy watch coming as well. I like a watch, kids. I like a watch. But you can catch me over at Firefly Zero over on Twitch as well. So, guys, I can only say this from the bottom of my heart. Hope you've had fun, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.
See you later.
2 men, 1 pod, unapologetically unfiltered. To quote Ridley Squat.
Ridley Squat.
It's the Unfiltered Idiots Podcast with Jay and TJ.